Welcome, everyone, to beautiful Chattanooga, Tennessee. And welcome to the ESPN High School Football Kickoff. We've got everything you could ask for. We've got views. We've got an incredible crowd. And we have two of the best high school football teams in the nation. This is not your usual high school football. Brentwood Academy out of Nashville looking for revenge on the Baylor school, who beat them in the Tennessee State Championship just a year ago. It is the high school kickoff in its 17th season. You're going to see numerous of the best teams in the nation at the high school level, but you will see a ton of future college stars all week long on our ESPN family of networks. Alongside the former Ohio State star Dustin Fox, I'm Chucky Kemp. Sydney Supley joins us from the sideline in just a few moments. We've got football, Dustin.
We do. We're back.
And we've got two great teams and a ton of stars.
We do. We have a state championship rematch. We got two quarterbacks, one for each team that are going to, they're both going to Ole Miss. We got a running back going to Tennessee on one team. We got a receiver going to Tennessee on the other team. These are 5 stars, 2 top 25 teams in the country. What better way to start the season?
How about David Gabriel Georges? That is really the main event tonight. He is one of the best players in the country.
No doubt.
When you watch him, what do you see?
Everything. I mean, the guy doesn't have a weakness. He's a true generational talent. If he does everything right, and I believe that he will, based on what we hear about this young man, like this kid could be a first-round pick in the NFL draft in 4 years. I mean, that's how good he is. Powerful, strong, pass protection, like you name it, the kid does it all.
One of his future teammates at Tennessee is on the other side. He will line up at wide receiver tonight. It's Keyshawn Bowman.
Another just terrific talent at the wide receiver position. Can play defense as well. You know, 6'1", 175. He'll add some weight when he gets to the volunteer program, but this young man can make plays. And we talked with Eric Kimry, the head coach at Baylor, and we said, how do you slow him down? You double team him? He's like, you pray. Just like Bobby Bowden said, you pray that you can slow this guy down.
Incredible night ahead. We will take a look at all the updated recruiting class rankings, as well as, of course, Tennessee, because they are so well represented. 3 of their top 4 recruits in next year's class are in this game. And then we do have the state title rematch, which we are so looking forward to. This is an unbelievable crowd here in Chattanooga at the Baylor school. Not just from Baylor, but Brentwood Academy made the trip down from Nashville. It's about a 2-hour drive, and they are here in droves.
Well, a little bit better weather conditions tonight than what we saw back in December when these teams met for the state championship game. It was a dreary, cold, rainy night, and we've got a absolutely perfect evening for football here. It's hot.
These two have met many times. 36th all-time meeting. Brentwood Academy has dominated the series, but Baylor has had their number as of late, including in that state championship game just a year ago. So how will tonight play out? We will find out. All the stories you could ask for, and a ton of names you will learn over the next few years at the college level. Braylon Bedford, Lex Baskin deep to return for Brentwood Academy. Sam Shutters to boot it away for Baylor, and we are underway. This will go into the end zone for a touchback, and that's where we will get our first look at this Brentwood Academy offense. The Eagles led it quarterback by a 3-star recruit committed to Ole Miss, Cruz Jenkins. Struggled in the state championship a year ago, but their head coach Paul Wade really loves the growth he's seen, and his accuracy is his favorite part.
Yeah, not a 5-star kid, but he is a capable quarterback that does a really nice job distributing the football. Kind of a true point guard of the offense, if you will, and he's got some players to throw the football to. And he's got a young man in the backfield that will be calling his number a lot tonight. That's number 2, Larry Sanders II.
Larry Sanders II ran for 215 and 3 scores in that state championship game that they led until about the 3-minute mark when Baylor took the lead and finished the job. So here we go, Brentwood Academy in the I formation to start things off. That is Lex Baskin in motion. They will give it, and he's knocked down in the backfield by Corey Faulkner, who is headed to South Florida. The 3-star linebacker makes the play right out of the gates.
Watch right in the backfield here. You're going to see Faulkner just absolutely get into the backfield, shoots his gap in a hurry, gets Sanders for the TFL, and they're fired up here early in Baylor.
Corey Faulkner, 6 feet tall, 220-pound linebacker. He was questionable tonight, but they said he was going to give it a go. 3-star recruit is headed to South Florida. They've got a good one.
And Faulkner, a little bit banged up, was not sure if he was going to be able to go tonight. He looked pretty good in that first play.
Play action pass, pressure here. Jenkins looking downfield. It is just beyond the reach of Baskin, another three-star who is headed to Middle Tennessee but can't haul it in.
Man, he had an opportunity down the field. Had him matched up against McCarty, the safety. And you can just see speed, and you can see pretty good arm strength there from Cruz Jenkins. That ball was, pretty close to being a home run hitter. Now they're facing third in Nashville.
Big down here for Cruz Jenkins, threw 2 picks in that state championship game. Weather was certainly a factor in that game, so did not favor the passing game, which is why both running backs went wild, on top of the fact that they are both stars.
Here's your slot receiver right there. That's going to be Bowman, and you're going to want to keep an eye on number 1.
Our first flag of the night.
Prior to the snap, delay of game, offense, number 3, 5-yard penalty still, 3rd down.
That'll make this 3rd and 17 for Brentwood Academy. Paul Wade, in his 3rd year, said he always wanted to coach at this school. 4 times a state champion as a head coach. Gonna get it out wide to the man. In space, makes a couple miss, but he's upended. Keyshawn Bowman's first touch of the night. You said to keep an eye on him. You can see how shifty he is.
Yeah, right there. You're just trying to give yourself a little bit of room to punt this football away and try to gain some field position back, and you never know. I mean, Bowman's obviously very explosive. Football in his hands, you could maybe break off a big run, but nonetheless, it's going to be 4th down, and you're going to have to punt the football here to Baylor.
Dowden Frederick will punt it away. There is Antoine Cornbread Adams, a 4-star recruit, getting recruited as both a wide receiver and a safety in the class of 2028. And he is going to get an opportunity from the 44-yard line. Here he goes, shooting up the field. He's knocked backwards, hit hard on the play. And they will take over in good field position. Roman Jennings made the stop. First opportunity for the new gunslinger here at Baylor. Keegan Croucher, he's a New York native, came from Cheshire Academy where he played in Connecticut last year. They really like this kid, and I love what Eric Kimry said he has a Sunday arm.
Yeah, this is an Elite 11 kid, big-time player, going to go play in the SEC. We met him yesterday. He's every bit of 6'5". I mean, big arm, just doesn't quite have the experience in the offense that Briggs Cherry had a season ago.
David Gabriel Georges was out in the slot. Plenty of time here. Now finally flushed out of the pocket, showing the athleticism, which is not necessarily what he's known for. There's a flag on the field after the nice scramble by Croucher. Looks like this is going to come back. That flag at the 38-yard line.
Illegal block in the back. Offense, number 67. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Replay, 1st down.
Well, that's a big penalty here because you start with great field position in plus territory. Now you're backed up to near midfield. But boy, you can see the athleticism of Croucher right there when he gets outside the pocket. He can absolutely move.
David Gabriel Georges in the backfield. First touch of the night for him, and he is
not
upended,
down,
but stays on his feet and makes it to the 40-yard line. Takes about 3 white jerseys on the second chance to get him down. This is a 5-star kid, number 13 on the SC Next 300.
Well, you can just see the burst, the athleticism, and you can see how athletic he is. How does he stay on his feet? The balance, this is unbelievable. I mean, he was upended and uses his arm to keep his balance and stays up. Just tremendous athleticism, effort, and ability.
He makes this 2nd and 10 from a 1st and 18 situation, kind of gets them back into this offensive drive. Takes the handoff in the shotgun. There's another flag on the field. He's knocked out after a gain of just about 1.5 yards. Jamison Humphreys pushed him out of bounds.
I think you're going to have a hold on the outside. I think Thornburg, the right tackle, you know, what happens is this delayed draw is you give it to DGG and then he bounces it, and it was designed to go inside,
Holding.
and so the lineman's not ready.
Number 70, 10-yard penalty from the previous spot, still second down.
You were on it, right tackle, sophomore Haddon Thornburg. One of the things Eric Kimry talked about with this team, said this is the youngest team he's had since coming to Baylor. This is his 5th year. They've won 2 state championships. They played for it the other 2 years. He did say about that young team, though, he said, as young as we are and as inexperienced, it always helps to have Superman. And he was talking about
DGG is lined up outside here in the slot position. Kind of keep an eye on that.
The holding penalty was declined. Third down.
Oh, okay, interesting. There's Coach Kimry in his 5th season here with the Baylor school. A couple of state titles, not bad. I think they're pretty happy with Coach Kimry and the job that he's done thus far in his first 4 seasons in 1 game.
And he is thrilled to be here.
No doubt. He loves it.
Played high-level football himself as a quarterback at South Carolina, coached there a little bit too. He's a great high school coach in the state of South Carolina, but now getting it done in Tennessee here at the Baylor School. It is 3rd and 9. Gabriel Georges in the backfield next to Croucher, who will throw it here. Pressure coming, he's hit hard, airs it out, touchdown! Caught by Antoine Cornbread Adams, beat his man, and it was a beautiful throw by Croucher. Sam shutters on for the extra point to make it 7-0 Baylor. And he does.
Well, Brentwood gambles. They decline the holding penalty, which would have backed them up. They make it 3rd and 10, and Baylor makes them pay. You want some cornbread? I got plenty for you in the end zone. 7-zip, Baylor.
The ESPN High School Kickoff is brought to you by Q-Collar. Protect your brain, protect your game. Collar up. The Element's a big part of the state championship between these two last year. Baylor winning that over Brentwood Academy. We've got the rematch in week 1, and with more on that, we go down to Sydney Supley.
Chucky, it has been 259 days since these two teams last squared off. And for Brentwood Academy's head coach, he said, I've been telling my team one thing, and that is to do more. He said, I practice every single route do one more time. Every single lift, do one more rep. And all over their locker room, Paul Wade has 28-24. That is the final score of the state championship game as a motivation that tonight, that one rep is going to pay off, and we're going to be on the other side. And as for the reigning champions, when I talked to head coach Eric Kimmery, he said it's simple. As you guys have been saying, we have Superman and a generational talent on our side. It's going to come down to which running back wants it more, and he's confident in his.
You know, it's such a great point, Sydney, when you talk about Baylor, and they do have Superman. There's no doubt about that. They want to keep him off the field. That is Brentwood. They went 3 and out their first possession. Not many 3 and outs in that state title game. Long possessions, long drives. They want to play keep away to try to win this football game. They need to get some sustained drives. I'm imagining you're going to see a lot more of Larry Sanders II here on this drive.
Brentwood trailed 21-10 with under 10 minutes left in the third quarter of the state championship game, scored 2 touchdowns in the final 7 minutes of the third quarter to take a 24-21 lead, but gave up a late touchdown with about 3 minutes to go and fell just short of that state championship. Get our first look at second look at Cruz Jenkins and this offense after a frustrating opening drive. Whistles from the officials on the field. I'm telling Jordan Derangia that he had to leave the field. I'm not sure for what reason. So they get a sub in. They'll move Xavier Bowman to the near side of the field, a 4-star corner in the class of 2028, number 3 at the bottom of your screen in red there, to try to match up with Keyshawn Bowman. That is a tremendous matchup.
Bowman on Bowman. Gotta love it.
He is waiting for number 1 on the far side of the field. Keep an eye at the bottom of your screen for those two. Sanders in the backfield with Cruz Jenkins, who wants to throw it and does so for a first down. The ball comes out. Baylor has it. A turnover on the second drive, and still on his feet is Faulkner, who's taken down inside the 25-yard line. Late flag on the field. Lex Baskin was the one who made the catch and coughed it up. Let's see what the call is.
After the interception, after the play, personal foul, return team number 51. 15 yards from the end of the run, first down.
Well, how about this for making plays? Watch number 1 here. That's Antoine Adams. He's the one who just had the touchdown reception. He comes up here, makes a big play, and then Faulkner is the one that ends up with the interception. Now, a big penalty here at the end of this play, because certainly it's going to back him up another 15 yards, but a really nice tackle there. Good awareness by Faulkner, getting the football. And boy, you got 2 players here. Faulkner's made 2 plays already. Cornbread Adams has made 2 plays already, a touchdown and a forced fumble. And Baylor, boy, they're looking to add on more here early in this game. And just a horrendous start for Brentwood.
Second time Baylor's taken over inside Brentwood territory offensively. Romel Kuhn Jr. leaving the field for Brentwood. Kyler Harper replacing him for the moment, who is a freshman defensive back. Is JP Itu in the backfield. They will throw it out to Gabriel Georges, who is swarmed by white jerseys. You get the feeling they know when he touches the football.
Oh, there's no doubt. Anywhere, you know, they split him out wide there and just run this little kind of screen with him, just to try to get him in space on the perimeter. That's really just kind of an extended run, almost like a toss play. You get him on the perimeter and just let him try to make guys miss. Picks up 3. Good job by Brentwood there, pursuing the football and getting him on the ground.
5-star recruit headed just down the road to Knoxville. Their coach, Eric Kimry, said he's the best player in the country. Here he is on the handoff. Runs over one and falls forward for a first down. There's another flag on the field.
Sensing a bit of a trend here with the flags that have just continued. Remember, this is an early season game. August 20th is early to start.
Holding. Offense number 18. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Still second down.
I think Brentwood will accept that one. Yeah, I think so this time.
That was against the big-time tight end Braxton Rain. He actually caught that game-winning touchdown with about 3:31 to play in the state championship last year. You'll hear his name called plenty tonight in the passing game. Again, Gabriel Georges in the slot at the far side of the screen. Jean-Pierre Itou in the backfield. Play action, trying to get Gabriel Georges in the flats over the middle. That is dropped by Adams, and that's going to bring up third and a long way.
Yeah, that one's just got to be caught by Antoine Adams coming across the middle. Maybe heard some footsteps. Ball was thrown in stride, and that certainly would have made this a much, much more manageable third down.
A big down right now, isn't it, for Brentwood?
There's no question. Now, they had the last possession. Brentwood had Baylor in third and long, and then they threw a touchdown pass. Let's see what happens here with the Red Raiders on 3rd and 14.
Gabriel Georges in the backfield. Keegan Croucher, the quarterback, headed to Ole Miss. Has a clean pocket. Rolling to the right, looking down the sideline, and that is incomplete. There's a flag in the middle of the field, kind of away from the throw. Baylor might get a gift here.
The initial signal is defensive hold.
You remember week 1, right? Some jitters a little bit here as a player?
Absolutely. You're kidding me? And I just can't imagine playing week 1.
Holding. Defense number 10. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay. Third down.
Can't imagine playing week 1 on national TV against the top 25 team in the nation. I mean, obviously there's some pressure, there's some jitters, but obviously some excitement from both squads and fan bases as they get an opportunity here to watch some big time football. I feel like we're calling a college game right now. That's the level that these guys are playing at. I'd like to clean up some of the penalties, but other than that, I mean, these guys are all. I mean, the offensive line for Baylor across the board, they're all like legitimate FBS size, 6'5", 300 pounds across the board.
From 3rd and 14 to 3rd and 4, and that's Gabriel Georges' time. And a lot of bodies, and they wrap him up in the backfield. It's the sophomore, Jack Berry, making the play.
Kenny Simon right here, number 10. He's the one who's going to make the play. He does a great job forcing this inside because he sets the edge right there. Bam. Allows the rest of his teammates to come and make the play. And, of course, you see Jack Berry's the one that cleans it up.
Kenneth Simon II will see a lot of David Gabriel Georges next year when they're teammates at Tennessee. 4th down, offense stays on the field. And whistles, and I believe it's a timeout for Eric Kimry. No, a flag on the field.
There's been more flags than Brentwood has had offensive plays.
Prior to the snap, false start. Offense number 1. 5-yard penalty still. 4th down.
I'd punt this. If I'm Baylor, I would punt this. And they will.
Eric Kimry wanted a timeout. That's what he was trying to tell the official before he made that call. He said, I got a timeout. That is not the case, though, and they're going to punt this away.
And Chucky, what a win for Brentwood. Are you kidding me? Could have been absolutely devastating to go down 2 scores. You turn the football over in your own territory. That was 2 possessions back-to-back that Baylor had short fields inside plus territory.
Sam Shutters punts and kicks for the Baylor school. Braylon Bedford is deep to return. He is the number 3 ranked recruit in the state of Tennessee for next year's class, 2028. He will not get an opportunity here, but that's a good punt. Goes out of bounds near the 15-yard line. We'll see if Brentwood can get it rolling when we come back. Lone touchdown of the game came on 3rd and long. It was Antoine Cornbread Adams. Tremendous speed, 4-star recruit in the class of 2028. Mainly being recruited as a safety, but also getting some looks as a wide receiver. Eric Kimry said not sure which way he wants to go, but very talented both ways.
Yeah, LSU wants him as a safety. Ole Miss wants him as a wide receiver. I would say that is pretty impressive.
And just maybe you let him do a little bit of both. Who knows in this day and age? You've seen it?
Play both ways. A little Travis Hunter action.
Yeah,
okay.
why not? Cruz Jenkins and company got to get it going. What do they have to do to try and settle into this game?
Well, listen, I mean, they got to certainly need to take care of the football, clean up the penalties, and hand the football to number 2, like 25 times, at least.
We have not seen much of Larry Sanders II. The coach says he plays with a big chip on his shoulder. Here he is trying to cut it upfield, being dragged, but driving his legs to the 23. Guess what? We've got a few flags on the field. Pick up a 4 that should have been probably 1 or nothing.
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 9, 15-yard penalty, first down.
That's on Faulkner, who's made some big plays tonight, and they're just being a little bit overly aggressive. Grabs the face mask, but that's really the first break that Brentwood has had all game. Is now they'll have the best field position thus far early in this first quarter. And I just keep handing the rock to number 2.
It's 4th penalty on Baylor for 45 yards. 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line for Brentwood Academy out of Nashville. The Eagles looking for revenge from last year's state title game. Flipping it on a little jet play to the right side. Braylon Bedford had nowhere to go. Wrapped up right at the line of scrimmage.
Again, Antoine Adams, who we just talked about, plays receiver, caught the touchdown pass, had the forced fumble on the last possession. He's the one that forces that football back inside right there on that play, because Bedford, another two-way player, tremendous athlete for Brentwood. Great safety as well, but there's Adams. These guys are just insane in terms of their physical conditioning to be able to play both ways and play at such a high level. And I'm telling you, it's about 90 degrees out there on the field.
They're actually the 6th and 7th ranked safeties in next year's class. Trying to go down the sideline, and that is incomplete. It was a late hand coming in from Jordan Derangia to keep that ball away from Keyshawn Bowman.
Yeah, this is, I think, a football that you would think could be caught. Pretty good defense there. At the end, you're right, the hand probably was a bit of a distraction, as Bowman is not someone who's going to drop many of those passes.
We have not been able to get him the football yet. It's great defense by Darren Gia. 3-star recruit, not yet committed. Some good offers, though. 3rd and 10. Jenkins, clean pocket, fires one downfield, and it's caught by Baskin, who's spun down at the 41-yard line. The drive continues.
Well, this is just a really good job by Cruz Jenkins. Surveys the field, comes back to his second read, wide open into zone coverage. Right at the sticks, does just enough. Lex Baskin at 6 foot, about 170 pounds. It's funny, these guys all look kind of similar. All long, lengthy guys. They've got great speed, and you could see the ability of Cruz Jenkins right there to be able to just to survey and deliver the football.
Handoff to Sanders. And he is knocked backwards behind the line and thrown down. Let's go down to Sydney with more on the Brentwood quarterback, Cruz Jenkins.
When I talked to Cruz, he said, I understand my strength last season was all in my accuracy. He said this offseason, I made sure I met with every single position group's head coach, and that way he was able to break down the film. So he said now when you watch him play in the pocket, he's slowing the game down. He's reading the defense better, and now he's able to check not just 1-2 options, but he's getting to his 3rd and 4th option by just being able to understand everybody's role on the field.
Well, we saw it right there on that last play, Sidney. Great
After
report.
the play,
unsportsmanlike
conduct, offense number 2, 15-yard penalty, 2nd down.
It's on Larry Sanders, the second, the running back, and just one of those costly mistakes with Brentwood finally getting some traction on offense that they're going to take a big step backwards.
There was a look at Paul Wade, and look at, does he got a little Waffle House menu there in front of him? I mean, there's a lot of plays there for a high school offense, and he's obviously the head football coach and calls the plays here for Brentwood. 4 state titles as head coach, 7 as an assistant.
35th year coaching in Tennessee high school football.
Is that all?
That's all. 2nd and 26. That's the big tight end, Judah Lancaster, in motion. Kenneth Simon the second is the back. Play action pass, pressure coming. Jenkins gets it out to Lancaster, who's downfield, has got back to the original line of scrimmage, flipped upside down at the 35-yard line with another flag on the field.
We're approaching the Guinness World Record for flags in a quarter.
Let's see what the call is. This was kind of in the middle of that play when Lancaster was quite a ways downfield.
Holding, offense number 1, 10-yard penalty from the end of the run, replay, 2nd down.
Lancaster will take a seat. That penalty goes on Keyshawn Bowman, one of the wide receivers. Yeah, 2 big-time tight ends in this game. Lancaster headed to South Carolina, top 20 tight end in this year's recruiting class.
That was an impressive run after the catch. I mean, they get him open, out-leverage the defense, and then he just had the speed and lowered his shoulder. Man. What an athlete.
Well, they're in a better situation than we were moments ago when it was 2nd and 26, but 2nd and 19, the handoff to Sanders, who lost his footing and barely gets past the line of scrimmage. There is not a lot of love between these two teams, as you can tell in this first quarter.
All right, so what's Paul Wade's best 3rd and, what about 17? Okay. Not so sure he has many of those on that play sheet, but you know what he does have? He's got playmakers. He's got a quarterback that can get rid of the football and put it in the hands of those playmakers.
Keyshawn Bowman not on the field for this 3rd and long opportunity. Jenkins' pressure was a screen play. Kind of lost the handle on it. It's going to end up an incomplete pass.
A lot of pressure coming here for Brentwood, and certainly they get in the face of Cruz Jenkins quickly. It's Faulkner again, along with the linebacker, Julian, 24. Actually, he's more of a rush end, to be honest with you, wearing number 24. These guys wear all these numbers these days, man. And they all look like safeties.
Yeah.
Like big time. I mean, we're talking about defensive ends that are 6'6" and 6'5", but they have the build with 4% body fat. We're talking about high school kids.
Timeout.
We got some
Baylor.
players out here now.
First charge timeout of the first half.
Baylor takes a timeout. Antoine Adams deep to return, trying to make a play. College football goes international for week 0, Saturday, August 29th. Tune in for a triple header starting with North Carolina, TCU in Dublin at noon Eastern, followed by NC State visiting Virginia, and then catch Alabama A&M versus Howard in Atlanta for the MEAC SWAC Challenge. Kickoff at 7:30 Eastern on ABC. Each game also available on the ESPN app. Rematch. Bill Belichick trying to make things right after last year's
wasn't pretty,
shocking opener for him.
Was not pretty. How about this crowd on hand tonight for this opener?
This is an unbelievable school here in Chattanooga, the Baylor School. The setting that we have, the Tennessee River just on the other side of the visiting fans, and then the mountains that we are surrounded by, just incredible.
It truly is like a college campus. We had a chance to visit their facilities yesterday. Top notch. Just everything they do here, off the charts.
Dowden Frederick to boot it away. Adams is deep to return. This one off the side of his foot, it looked like, and that'll go out of bounds. A very short punt. This is actually the worst field position that Baylor will take over in. You see it, a beautiful evening in Chattanooga. Beautiful sunset here in Chattanooga. Brentwood Academy trailing Baylor 7-0. The lone touchdown belongs to Antoine Cornbread Adams. Sydney caught up with him moments ago.
I'm here with Antoine Adams, who, AKA, we heard you're called Cornbread, so we brought you a little gift.
Thank you.
First touchdown of the season, you earned yourself a cornbread. What statement were you trying to make early?
I'm coming. This season all for us, all for the team. This for all my people back home in Mississippi. I'm here, and that's it.
We love it. Well, I'm going to save this for you after the game. Go be with your team.
Yes, ma'am. I would love it.
That is the first of many for Antoine Cornbread Adams. Just a junior, but a 4-star in the class of 2028. A tremendous player on both sides of the ball.
And Coach said, listen, he is country. And you can hear a little bit of that, right there as he talks about that cornbread, which he's probably going to enjoy after the game. How about this play defensively by Brentwood?
This defense has been on David Gabriel Georges so far. What have you seen defensively that they've done so well against the run game?
Well, listen, they are doing a really good job of pursuing the football, suffocating DGG. And you got to remember, we're talking about an offensive line here for Baylor that's got to replace some dudes from a season ago. They don't have quite the experience that Brentwood has. Brentwood brings back 15 starters from that state title game back in December. So they are more experienced, and this offensive line's just got to find a way to gel and mesh.
David Gabriel Georges on a wheel route hit right as he caught it, but hangs on and breaks the tackle. And he's across the 50, close to the 45-yard line as they get the first down and then some.
Well, take a look at DGG. He's going to be right here in the slot, which shows you exactly what this guy can do. They just want to get the ball in his hands, and how about this? You can't tackle me. You kidding me? Get off me. Good luck. 3 guys to get him on the ground.
Eric Kimry said he has no weaknesses. He can catch the ball, he can block, he can do everything.
Chucky, this guy looks like he's in the NFL already. I mean, it's unbelievable. The development that these young players have already at the high school level.
1st and 10 at the 45. Little flea flicker. Airing it out downfield, and it is incomplete. Antoine Adams thought he had the football, and from up here, we're a long way away. It looked like he did.
Boy, a lot to unpack here. Let's start with the flea flicker. Hand the football off to GGG. Tosses it back. You kind of catch the defense off guard. You take a shot down the field. You got him matched up on the outside. In coverage there. DiMatteo is in coverage. What do you think? Do you think it's a touchdown? You don't have replay in high school.
We do not, but that looked pretty darn good.
We have replay up here, but obviously not going to be in play.
You're not sharing, though.
We'd love to.
2nd and 10 instead.
Going to be a delay unless they got a timeout.
Timeout. Baylor. 2nd charge timeout of the first half.
I mentioned earlier, Eric Kimry said this is the youngest team he's had at Baylor. Keegan Croucher, who is an exceptional talent, still new to this offense, though, in the grand scheme of things. He got here in January. This is the first time he's calling the shots in a real game. They did play a scrimmage a couple weeks ago against the reigning national champions in high school football at Buford. And we'll also see Buford on this kickoff weekend. But this is the first time under the lights for real in 2026.
The one thing about, Keegan that's interesting is he has all of the tools and the skill set to play the position. But when we asked Eric Kimry about how he replaces Briggs Cherry from a season ago, I said, how do you replace him? And he says, you don't. And I think that just speaks volumes to the leadership and the, just everything this young man has been able to do. We're talking about Briggs Cherry, so big shoes to fill for Keegan Croucher. Both these guys, as you see, hotty toddy, both going to Ole Miss. Cruz Jenkins grew up a die-hard Ole Miss fan. Went to games since he was probably, in diapers. And now he's going to have an opportunity to compete and play for the Rebels alongside Keegan Croucher.
Little option play. Croucher on the keeper, trying to lower the shoulder, and stays on his feet out of bounds. Picked up about 6 yards. Romo Kuhn Jr. knocks him out of bounds. Going to bring up 3rd and manageable. We got a lot of possessions in the first quarter of this game. Very different from last year's state championship game.
Right, and it's also had no flow because of all the penalties and timeouts and this, that, and the other. It's just been kind of a wonky first quarter. And honestly, Brentwood's lucky that they're not down a couple of scores right now.
David Gabriel Georges is the back directly behind Croucher. Jean-Pierre Itou next to him. Here is Gabriel Georges down the sideline, still on his feet. He's finally knocked out around the 18-yard line.
just can't say enough about just really everything that he does. I mean, just the jump cut right there, the footwork. I mean, it's like he's doing a ladder drill with agility, and then he's somehow able to keep his balance. Like just that little toe tap down the sidelines to get an extra 3 yards shows his unbelievable athleticism.
You saw an attempt above the waist, and Paul Wade, Brentwood Academy's head coach, said that will not get it done tonight. Croucher rolling out to his right, plenty of time, scanning, and it's Adams into the end zone, touchdown for the second time tonight, Antoine Cornbread Adams, but there is a flag on the far side of the field. Out wide, about 4 yards in front of the line of scrimmage.
Legal man downfield is the initial call, and that's a bummer for Baylor because that was a great executed play by Keegan Croucher to Cornbread.
Ineligible receiver downfield. Offense number 77. 5-yard penalty. Replay. First down.
You know, it's interesting. Initially, he had another wide receiver, Beckham Stokes, open behind Cornbread Adams early in the end zone. But he just was not able to get the football delivered to him in time, and so he then settles for the second crosser, which ends up being Adams, and man, that is a big-time blow to take a touchdown off the board.
Couple penalties so far on this inexperienced offensive line. Dante Wade, Grant Vincent, and Haddon Thornburg all making their first starts tonight for Baylor. That's the left tackle, left guard, right tackle. Ball is fumbled. Gabriel Georges, how did he do it? Gets good yardage after scooping the ball off the ground behind the line of scrimmage.
What awareness. Like, just unbelievable awareness by Gabriel Georges here. You know, you got Keegan Croucher's like, oh, okay, what am I going to do? I mean, and then DGG's like, give me that thing. Picks it up and picks up about 10 yards.
When they played Buford a couple of weeks ago, his first carry against the national powerhouse went for a 54-yard touchdown. Here he is again. Puts his foot in the ground and bounces outside close to the 10. And here is a flag on the field.
I agree with you, fans. Not that part.
Baylor walking it back.
Holding. Offense number 77. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay. Second down.
That's on Dante Wade, the left tackle. Chucky, you and I met the offensive line yesterday.
Yeah, don't get in their way.
I thought we were in the wrong building. I thought maybe this was like Tennessee's offensive line. Some big dudes, man, across the board. They average 299 pounds.
They walk into a restaurant together, it shuts down for the night. 2nd and 16. D2 in the backfield, in motion, out wide. Croucher fakes it, looking downfield. Looking for the wheel route, that's a high throw. Braxton Rain, the intended target, the tight end, and it'll be 3rd and 16.
Here's the hog mollies up front. Take a look at Baylor's starting offensive line across the board. I mean, I don't see anybody that looks like, you know, they don't belong like on an FBS roster right there in terms of their size. Again, they average 299 pounds. High school. Chucky, high school.
Ready to go.
It's just a different animal down here. I mean, these guys are some playmakers, and you know, you've got David Gabriel Georges in the backfield. You know, 6 foot, 215 pounds. Already looks like he's an FBS player, and then he gets to run behind those guys.
3rd and 16. Croucher rolling out, running out of space down the sideline. That's incomplete. Looking for Beckham Stokes. And that's going to bring up 4th and long if they elect to try it. It'll be a 42-yard field goal attempt from here.
Yeah, I think this is the right time to do it. You know, Coach Kimmery said yesterday, inside the 30, they feel comfortable bringing out Shutters. And with it being 4th and 16, it's a no-brainer.
There is number 95, Sam Shutters, does the kicking and punting. His dad was a punter at South Carolina, a senior. with his first field goal attempt of the year.
Believe his pops was his teammates with Cameron at South Carolina? I think so.
4 seconds left in the first quarter. This will be the last play before the break. Kick is up, plenty of distance, and off the upright and through. 42-yarder good for Sam Shutters, and it is 10-0 Baylor after the first quarter.
That is the end of the first quarter.
An eventful first quarter it was. Brentwood will get the ball when we come back, but a little doink for the first one, and it's 10-0. Great crowd, big-time stars. What more could you ask for in Chattanooga on a Thursday night? Welcome back to Chattanooga. The Baylor School leading Brentwood Academy to Tennessee powerhouses 10-0. Got some Tennessee all-time great receivers. We've got a future one on the field here, but you know some of these names.
Well, Peerless Price right there, who wore a great number in college, 37, which is also my college number as well. We were teammates his final season with the Buffalo Bills all the way back in 2007. To take you back. Obviously, Peerless was a big part of that Peyton Manning squad.
This is a guy
national champs
to jump on that list pretty soon. The 4-star Keyshawn Bowman, top 40 overall, top 10 receiver. He will be teammates with David Gabriel Georges next year. Tennessee adding some big pieces. Tipped up, Braylon Bedford trying to corral this to return it. Reverses field, he's got a blocker if he can outrun one. Across the 30, jumps ahead, and it ends up being a tremendous return for Braylon Bedford.
Bedford gets lucky here because he tries to kind of bat the ball to himself, and as he does, it really throws off the timing of the coverage unit. Watch, and it nearly goes to the ground. Good thing he did not. He stays up, and then all of the coverage men coming down the field are just thrown off with their timing just enough that allows him to escape outside of the perimeter, and Brentwood's really lucky. or Baylor is really lucky, excuse me. A lot of red out there.
Bedford's a little shaken up, so he'll take a seat. He's one of those very talented safeties, also plays receiver. 7th-ranked safety in next year's class, 2028. They go to the ground with Sanders. This is what you've been asking for. We've seen him have the ball a little bit, but maybe not enough yet.
Absolutely. It's what they got to get going. They need to get Sanders going on the ground, and when they need to do it is on first down. And so right there, 7 yards on first down, that's perfect. That's what you want. And really, you look at last season, Chucky, he averaged per carry 7.9 yards on the season. Averaged 7.5 in the state title game, where he ran for 215 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Paul Wade says he plays with a chip on his shoulder, has not been heavily recruited, but he is a workhorse. And here he is again, making a couple misses as he jumps ahead for a first down, 6 yards on the ground. Certainly one you would think is going to get onto some recruiting boards in his senior season.
He's got some looks. You know, we're talking FCS and those types of schools, but I don't know. I mean, I watched that state title game before, you know, with our prep, and certainly seeing him here tonight. I know he's a little undersized, but certainly the place for him in college football, no doubt.
Paul Wade said he took it upon himself to prove it in that game last year, going up against one of the best running backs in the country. He ran for 215 yards and 3 scores and nearly took him the distance for that state title. 1st and 10 at the 44, handing it to him again. First 3 plays of the drive are Sanders, and he's driving his legs. He's got a first down. A pickup of about 13 yards, and he shouldn't have had nearly that much.
And now you're seeing the offense just get a little bit of rhythm, a little bit of momentum, and you can see that Larry Sanders is taking it upon himself. You talk about that chip on his shoulder, which is rather large. Yeah, he's carrying guys right now, and certainly they need it. And they're far from being out of this football game.
Carried the rock almost 250 times last year as a junior for this team. They will go to the air this time.
That might be a
dropped.
fumble. Oh my goodness, that was really close to being a backwards pass. As they try to get the ball in their playmaker's hands, Keyshawn Bowman, the Tennessee commit. ESPN's 39th ranked prospect in the ESPN 300.
Number 9 receiver in the class. 3 of Tennessee's top 4 recruits playing in this game. Bowman and Simon, the linebacker, are teammates for Brentwood. And then, of course, DGG, David Gabriel Georges, for Baylor Academy, or for Baylor School. On the ground again, Sanders just cannot be brought down. That's a pickup of 11. He just continues to eat up yardage.
And this is where that low center of gravity helps him out. I mean, he's able to stay compact. And then once he gets Chucky to the second level, that's where he can be the most dangerous. You've got defensive backs trying to get him on the ground. And really, at the end of the day, it takes Corey Faulkner, the Mike linebacker, there to really finish the play off.
Another first down just outside the red zone. Everything they've done on this drive positive has been on the ground. And I believe when they snapped this, Lex Baskin was still moving to step up to the line of scrimmage.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense number 1, 5-yard penalty still, first down.
Well, you take a look back at what these 2 talented running backs did a season ago. Larry Sanders, we've been talking about him on this drive. David Gabriel Georges, the Tennessee commit. Can't say enough about what they did as a season. Both these guys, 1,800 yards, almost 1,900 for Larry Sanders. DGG, almost 1,800, over 20-plus touchdowns. I mean, these guys are absolute ballers from the running back position.
Sanders again has some blockers, now busts it outside. There's a flag back behind the play. And this is likely going to come back.
Holding, Offense, number 44. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Replay. First down.
To your point earlier, there's just not a lot of rhythm in this game. I have to assume as a player, this is kind of an awkward game to be in right now.
As a player, for sure, and it's even harder as a play caller. You know, as an offensive coordinator, you're trying to find some rhythm. And, you know, Paul Wade, who did find some rhythm here with Larry Sanders, now you're 1st and 25. Do you go back to the ground? They do not.
They try to set up a screen pass. Sanders fell. He almost threw that too far because Corey Faulkner saw the screen. He very nearly had a chance to pick that off.
Indeed, he did. And they are very lucky that that was not picked off, as Sanders did fall to the ground. I like the call. You know, it's 1st and 25. It's kind of a safe call in some ways, almost kind of like a run. If you can execute it, you know, low risk, high reward. But now you're facing 2nd and 25. I don't know. I kind of like what they were doing with just handing the football to Larry Sanders II. I mean, he's averaging like 10 yards a carry on this drive.
Flag before the snap.
Prior to the snap, encroachment. Offense, number 6, lined up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty still. 2nd down.
That's the tight end, Judah Lancaster, and that pushes Brentwood Academy probably just outside of Owen Davies' range. Paul Wade said they feel like he can push it to the low 50s, 52, 53-ish.
I mean, if you can get it inside the 35, I think you would take a shot, especially with it if it's 4th and a mile. But I certainly would feel better if I'm Paul Wade if you could get this around the 30.
2nd and 29. Jenkins stepping up, makes a couple miss. He's got space, and he gets about 11 yards back to make this a bit more manageable, and that field goal is certainly more reasonable.
Well, there's the athleticism of Cruz Jenkins, who can take off and go. At 5'11", 175, sometimes can get lost behind that big offensive line, and right there I think he did, and does just enough that would put them in, you know, well within the range of Davies. But I want to see what they're going to do here on 3rd and 17.
Yeah, 45-yarder as it stands right now. Brentwood 1 for 3 on 3rd down tonight. 3rd and 17 is the final count here. 8:32 to play in the first half.
Here is Bowman on the outside.
Jenkins looking his way, will dump it off short. It's the big fullback, Liam Titus. Bring your friends to tackle him. He gets it about a yard shy of the original line of scrimmage to the 22-yard line.
Thought initially Cruz Jenkins was looking outside at Bowman and covered up. They do a good job. I mean, it's 3rd and 17, so they're keeping everything from the top down. I think this is definitely going to be a field goal attempt, and yes, it is. We'll take a look at Owen Davies, who we saw had a monster leg. You pointed this out to me, Chucky, in the pregame warm-ups. Man, he was good from 50 plus.
This is a 39-yarder for the Notre Dame commit, and has plenty of leg. It is good. Brentwood Academy on the board. 10-3 with 7:40 to play in the first half. The ESPN High School Kickoff is brought to you by AutoZone. Get in the zone, AutoZone. This is the Old Steam Chattanooga Choo-Choo locomotive train on display at the terminal station in downtown Chattanooga. There's, of course, a song originally recorded as a big band swing tune by Glenn Miller and his orchestra back in 1941. How about this? This is a name you'll recognize. Marshall Manning. That is the son of NFL Hall of Famer Peyton Manning in his freshman year. He's the backup quarterback here at the Baylor School. And with more on Marshall, we go down to Sydney Supley.
Well, Marshall's not the only Manning who's making a difference right now on Baylor's squad, but you mentioned it. Peyton has been working with starting quarterback Keegan Croucher, who said since coming to Baylor, he's taken his quarterback play to the next level, and part of it has been his surreal conversations with Peyton Manning. He said at first, it felt surreal to be talking to one of my quarterback heroes, but then I quickly learned Peyton is just like another guy and willing to help. He said his very first football question to him was, how did you become so proficient in your footwork under center? That's been an area he's gotten a lot better thanks to Peyton's help. And he said, just wait until you see Marshall on the field. You can tell he took after his dad with his excellent footwork, especially in the pocket.
Well, Sydney, I think we may see Marshall for at least a couple of snaps tonight. We talked with Coach Kimmerer yesterday. He did say he'd like to get him in and maybe have a couple special packages for him to get some live game action. Don't think you'll see a full series, but I do think we'll see number 16 in the lineup.
Eric Kimmerer said Marshall and Keegan Croucher have a tremendous relationship. And of course, as Sydney just told us, Keegan has built a relationship with Peyton as well. This is booted away well into the end zone for a touchback. Now, the Little League Classic action is here. Watch first place teams, the Atlanta Braves and Milwaukee Brewers, face off in Williamsport. That's Sunday at 7 Eastern on ESPN and streaming on the ESPN app. Keegan Croucher back on the field. He was actually a really talented baseball player growing up as well. But all locked in on football as he is headed to Ole Miss, a four-star recruit, top 25 ranked quarterback, a pocket passer. From New York, played his high school ball last year at Cheshire Academy in Connecticut, but finishing up here at the Baylor School in Chattanooga. Rolling out, looking downfield under pressure, fights off one defensive lineman and slides ahead. He has shown off some really impressive athleticism tonight.
Impressive athleticism, impressive awareness. Like, you just don't see many high school quarterbacks avoid pressure like this, take off, scamper for 6-7 yards, and then slide and avoid the hit. You know, contact's coming. That's just big time quarterback play right there for a guy that's in high school. 6'5", 210 pounds, already has the moxie of a college football player. It's a professional level operation.
He's in the backfield with JP E2 with David Gabriel Georges, the second in line on the near side of the field. They hand off to E2, who dives ahead, and he will have enough for a first down. You might wonder, why is David Gabriel Georges not seeing the ball more often? That is by design. Eric Kimmerer, they want to protect him. They want to have him not just for this season, but he talked about his future too. They don't just want to run the wheels off him this year.
And it's pretty impressive that a high school coach would have that awareness and be that smart with the young man, because a lot of high school coaches would just, you know, run the tread off the tires of these running backs and not care about the future, but he certainly does. And DGG, as they call him around here, has been one of the hardest workers, maybe the hardest worker that Coach Kimmerer's ever seen.
Croucher using his legs again, and it looks like he's got a first down on the scramble, pickup of about 12 yards.
Well, I think he maybe learned his lesson the last time the ball was low and on the ground. Is, you know, this time easily gets it up off the ground, nobody open, and just decides to take off and go. And Coach Kimmerer did tell us yesterday, like, when he gets going, he can flat out roll. And boy, we have a change at quarterback. Yes, that's right. There is a Manning at quarterback for Baylor.
Played in the Buford game in the scrimmage, but this is the first real snap of Marshall Manning's high school career. Gonna roll to his right. They're gonna let him throw it out wide. It's a beautiful throw to the sideline. Caught just short of a first down by Antoine Cornbread Adams. How about that, fresh off the bench?
Well, you saw him warming up there before this drive, and then no problem. They roll him out, extend the pocket, throws the ball, nearly batted down there by Jack Berry, 14. But again, on the move, delivers the strike. Nearly a first down pickup. And he does stay in the game for another snap.
Familiar number, rocking the 16 just like Dad did at Tennessee.
Get the sense he may be handing this one to number 0 on 2nd and 2.
And he will. Gabriel Georges shoots through the gap and tumbles ahead for a first down.
All right, impressive start there for Marshall Manning. Is now Keegan Croucher will come back in to take over, but I think you got to be happy with that.
You could tell, too, Keegan Croucher was fired up when Manning came off the field right there.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, listen, this is Keegan Croucher's job. He's the starting quarterback. He's going to play big-time football. In one day, this will be Marshall Manning's choo-choo train, if you will. He'll be the conductor of that train for three seasons. But for 2026, it'll be Keegan Croucher, and they'll see some spot duty from Marshall Manning as they go, and maybe we'll see more as we have a timeout on the field. 10-3 from Chattanooga.
It's finally over. Ladies and gentlemen, it's football time.
Mark your calendars. Saturday, August 29th. It's a triple header starting with North Carolina TCU in Dublin at noon Eastern. Then it's NC State, Virginia, followed by Alabama A&M against Howard in Atlanta for the MEAC SWAC Challenge. Kickoff is at 7:30 Eastern on ABC for that one. All those games also available on the ESPN app. I cannot wait. Just over a week from tonight. A lot of the players we are watching on this field will be gearing up for college football come next year. And one of them in the backfield, David Gabriel Georges, good chance he's going to be starting some big-time college football next year.
I don't know about you, partner, but I got buddies at home watching this game, and I'm getting text messages. They're like, this kid is unbelievable. I'm like, I told you. You got to watch him.
Croucher throwing toward the sideline. Great catch. No, it was dropped at the very end of that play by Hank DeGennaro.
Romel Kuhn Jr. does a good job in coverage at the end to get the football out, and I think you're going to see a flag maybe for taunting here at the end of the play, which would be a big blow for Brentwood.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, defense number 11, taunting, 15 yards, first down.
Again, this is after the play. Gets it out of there, incomplete. The problem, you can't stand over top the player. You know, they do that whole like lockdown thing to put the seatbelt on, or I don't really know if it's a sword they're putting back away or if it's a seatbelt, but these guys, all defensive backs, I was a defensive back. I'm not cool enough to know about what these guys do anymore, but you can't stand over top of the player like that. The official saw it, call it. A little bit of a ticky-tack call, but nonetheless.
Croucher dropped it. Now the pressure's coming. Back toward midfield. He's 20 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Just throw it away.
Dumps it ahead for Gabriel Georges, and they're going to get about 4 yards on this play.
Boy, very dangerous play by Keegan Croucher here. Does show tremendous athleticism to be able to escape and buy himself some time. We talked about the professionalism that he has and the awareness. Like right there, I'm thinking, okay, just throw this ball away. Live to fight another down. And, well, I guess when you've got Gabriel Georges in the backfield and you can throw the ball to him, like, why not? Buy yourself some time and all that for 4 yards.
We have seen Gabriel Georges everywhere.
Academy.
In the backfield, we've seen him in the slot.
Of the first half.
We've seen him out wide. And they've gotten in the ball in all those spots, too. This isn't just a complete decoy. Now, sometimes it is, but he's gotten the football in all these different spots.
I have to ask our statistician up here, Vince, if he can give me a total touches count on DGG here at some point, because he's the man. He'll get us those quickly. 10 touches combined, receptions, carries thus far.
7 carries, 7 carries, 3 catches. He is one of 3 going to Tennessee. These are big-time guys, too.
No doubt. And you know, it's funny, we actually, from our vantage point up here in the booth, we're looking down at some of the fans. A lot of orange in the crowd tonight. Just Tennessee Volunteer fans at this game that want to see some of their future stars before they step on the field at Neyland. And obviously, Gabriel Georges is doing a heck of a job. We talked about Bowman on the outside, and certainly Kenny Simon, the linebacker, has made his presence felt as well.
Yeah, he's a top 15 linebacker in the class of 2027, 4-star guy. He's actually a second-generation volunteer, too.
Yeah.
His dad is Kevin Simon, who played there, was a 7th-round pick by Washington back in 2006.
I would wonder what Pops thought about when he was committed to Alabama for quite some time and then flipped back in June to Tennessee.
I'd say it all worked out in the end. E2 is tripped up in the backfield. The big man Dylan Taylor at 5'11", 297 pounds making the stop.
And we've got a great slate of high school football this weekend. As you see a big one coming up here on Saturday. Is that Phillip Rivers' school?
That is Phillip Rivers.
I think so. Man. Hall of Famer, in my opinion.
3rd and 5. Gabriel Georges on the carry. Full head of steam. Knocked down just beyond the first down marker. Kenneth Simon, his future teammate, making the stop on the play.
You know, Coach Kimmery told us a story yesterday about Gabriel Georges in the recruiting process, and when he was arriving here on campus, he said, Coach, we're delivering you a Lamborghini. And it just made me think right there how quickly he can go from 0 to 60, like his burst. And there's no doubt. I mean, this kid is unbelievable. And again, to go with that story, his first day of practice, inside drill, runs over a senior defender who was going to play FBS football and said, oh my gosh, this guy is real deal.
Almost intercepted, very nearly a pick 6 for Braylon Bedford, one of those big-time defenders, 7th-ranked safety in the class of 28.
Yeah, this was going to be a house call here for Braylon Bedford, who has a great jump on this route. A block missed there on the outside by Beckham Stokes, and it nearly costs Baylor. They are very, very lucky that that was not a pick 6. Yeah, but you talk about Braylon Bedford. This young man is an ESPN 300 in the next class of 2028, and he's got a 40-inch vert and a 4.4 40-yard dash, and is as rangy and as explosive as anybody in the entire country. He already has tons of SEC offers. And
offense number 13. 5-yard penalty still. 2nd down.
You can see he's fired up.
He's a new part of this Brentwood Academy defense this year. First year with the team, but you said it, long list of offers. He's going to have his pick of the litter.
I would say that next season, when you're watching Brentwood, if they're playing a nationally televised game, he'll be the top-rated player on their team.
Right now, it's Keyshawn Bowman, the wide receiver, headed to Tennessee, top 40 in the SC Next 300. Second and long here for Croucher. Looking toward the sideline and connecting down inside the 10. There are flags on the field in the area of that catch. Hank DeGennaro, the junior wide receiver, who Eric Kimry said is one to watch for, makes the catch. But we'll see what the call is. This is going to go against Brentwood Academy.
Chucky, who's our white hat tonight? Do we have that information?
It is Gray Ramsey.
Gray Ramsey has had more airtime than Chucky Kemp tonight.
Holding, defense number 10. That penalty's declined. The result of the play is a first down.
He is all over the TV tonight for folks at home.
This second quarter been much more like what we probably expected. Longer drives. The running game's been more involved and a little bit cleaner too, but penalty there.
Not much. I mean, I think we're, if we have it right, what are we, about 13 flags now in the first half?
Yeah, 14 penalties accepted so far and a few that have not been accepted. First and goal at the 6-yard line. Gabriel Georges charges ahead, drives the legs to the 3, and they blow the whistle as he's dragged out of bounds. Let's go down to Sydney with more on David Gabriel Georges.
Well, guys, when you talk about David George's power, it comes from the weight room. They call him a weight room junkie. When he was deciding which college he wanted to go to, he made sure to meet with the strength and conditioning coach first. And when I talked to the one here at Baylor, he said he's the only athlete he's ever had where he's had to take weight off the bar. Coming into the senior season, he set new PRs, over 600 on his squat, 725 pounds on his deadlift. I did some math, guys. That's about 3.5 of his body weight.
Really unique journey, too. He's from Canada, came down, didn't really speak English when he got here, fluent in French. His parents don't speak any English at all. It's actually been his uncle, who you talked about, told Eric Kimry, we're delivering a Lamborghini here.
Prior to the snap, false start. Offense number 25. 5-yard penalty still, second down.
You probably wouldn't believe it, and most fans wouldn't know this, but he speaks French as his first language, and he's gotten better at speaking English, but still, I mean, he talks like he is a Frenchman. I watch a lot of tennis. In fact, Arthur Feast is playing as we speak in Cincinnati, looking to go to the semifinals this weekend.
This is why I brought you, just to keep me updated in that world. Gabriel Georges, that is a violent finish to the run. He's tackled at about the 1-yard line, or tripped up, I should say.
It truly looks like we're watching a guy that's going to play on Sundays.
Who's the toughest guy you ever had to tackle? Or who comes to mind, somebody you played against that you thought, man, I do not want to get in his way?
Willis McGahee.
It's a great blast from the pass there. Third and goal whistles prior to the snap. It's going to be a timeout.
Baylor. Third and final timeout of the first half.
Brentwood Academy has 1 timeout remaining. Minute 24 left in this first half. They could have an opportunity to try and mount something after this Baylor drive concludes. David Gabriel Georges, one of the biggest names of the weekend, 13th on the XC Next 300. Some other big ones. Mark Matthews, the top of that list that you'll see this weekend, going to Texas A&M, the big offensive lineman. But if you like college football and you're a fan of some of the biggest programs, you're probably going to see somebody you're going to watch.
And these guys will all be starters relatively quickly at their respective universities. And you can see all of these teams, all those teams are going to be like playoff teams, you know, for the years to come. So you can see what this means, you know, to these players and certainly to these programs. Big time high school football players that are going to go play on big time stages next season.
It's a crucial play coming up here. 3rd and goal inside the 2-yard line for the Baylor school, trying to take a 2-touchdown lead before halftime.
Well, what a drive. 12 plays, almost 80 yards, and it's taken up almost half the quarter. And truthfully here, you'd like to take more clock here if you can. If you're Brentwood, you're probably going to call timeout if they don't score.
Handoff to the linebacker, Corey Faulkner, who bounces it outside. Not the way they designed it, but they'll take it. It's a touchdown for the talented linebacker for Baylor.
Boy, Chucky, this thing was halted in the backfield and should have been a tackle for loss, and Brentwood would have been calling timeout here, trying to either get off the field had Baylor gone for it on 4th down, or at least hold him to 3. They put the stud linebacker in at running back and just makes a baller play, bounces it outside, and puts 6 on the board for the Red Raiders.
Caps off a 13-play, 80-yard drive over almost 6.5 minutes to give them this 16-3 lead with 1:17 left in the first half. Corey Faulkner headed to South Florida as a 3-star linebacker to play for one of your former Buckeyes, actually. You have an injury on the field after that last play. That's why we're a little slow to get going here. It's one of the offensive linemen, Grant Vinson, the left guard. He is off the field. They were checking on him. Did come off under his own power, though.
I wonder if Coach Hartline is watching tonight. I'm excited to see what he does with the Bulls down in South Florida. I have no doubt he will keep them rolling. Alex Golish did a tremendous job. Also a Buckeye. Yeah, that thing was really stood up in the backfield, but I think it was a great job by Faulkner to kind of recognize the fact that there's nothing going here, and he just gave himself a couple inches, but backs up and then just pops it outside and showed off a little bit of burst.
DeLay is actually a player on the far side of the field for Brentwood Academy.
Yeah, and that's Kenny Simon. I wonder if he's cramping as he is kind of limping right there. I mean, again, hot night. I don't know, somehow we have air conditioning in our booth. We are blessed because it is a hot night out there on the field.
Sam Shutters on for the extra point and boots it through. 17-3 the lead for the Baylor school over Brentwood Academy, who has 1:17 to get something in the first half. 17-3, the Baylor school leading Brentwood Academy, and just scoring moments ago. And with the touchdown score is Sydney Supley.
Corey, I'm sure not the play that you guys drew up, but how did you stay on your feet and extend it to a touchdown?
I'm just really a playmaker for real. I saw the whole guy clogged up, and I bounced outside, and I'm fast, so I use my speed.
What does that do for you guys, momentum going into halftime?
We got our confidence back. The defense is stopping our offense, and now just on the road, I feel like we're good, for sure. We're going to the second half, and we're gonna put in the work, for sure.
Awesome, you heard it here first. Corey, thank you.
Sure.
Such an important touchdown prior to halftime. Now it's up to this Baylor defense to make sure Brentwood Academy cannot get anything going to the break to get some momentum back in their favor. This is booted into the end zone for a touchback. Time now for our Q Collar heads up plays of the game so far.
Guess who? How about DGG? David Gabriel George's baller in the backfield for the Red Raiders. Very, very difficult to bring on get on the ground, I should say, and has great ability. He can bounce it outside. It just takes multiple defenders to bring him down. You got to think about this. You know, we're talking about a guy here that is playing against a lot of players that are going to play college football at a high level in college. If they were playing a high school that just had, you know, a couple, he could name the number of yards and touchdowns he would rush for. It's that good.
Throwing this outside to Keyshawn Bowman, who has a first down on the catch from Cruz Jenkins. Couple college commits connecting. And Bowman is banged up after this play. Not what you want to see. Such a talented wide receiver. Trainers out quickly to take a look at him.
It has been a very, long, extended first half. A lot of penalties, and you got to think maybe at some point here, the fatigue, the hydration becomes a factor. All of the above, and this is maybe a hit he takes as he goes to the ground. We'll take a look. There he is, top of the screen, number 1. Beautiful route to the sticks. Great throw by Jenkins. I wonder if he twisted his ankle a little bit there as he kind of spun. That's good to see. He's up walking off the field, and you can breathe if you're Josh Heupel.
Top 40 recruit overall, top 10 receiver in this year's class, headed to Tennessee, and he takes a break on the sideline after the injury right there. So we'll see if Brentwood Academy can mount a drive without him on the field.
So here's what's interesting. Brentwood is a team that likes long drives. They want to extend, 10, 12, 13 play drives and run the football with Larry Sanders. Problem is you're down 2 scores right now. They got to score in a hurry here before halftime.
Long ball caught down the sideline. Lex Baskin. Nobody to stop him. Touchdown, Brentwood Academy.
And right on cue, they scored before halftime. Unbelievable job by Cruz Jenkins, and an unbelievable catch by Baskin. I mean, there's 2 defenders there, as there is a flag. Shocker on the play. Will this affect the outcome?
Seemed like it came in pretty late. I think it's going to go against the Eagles of Brentwood Academy, but I think this was after the play.
I think they're going to attack this on the kick.
That ball was threaded.
Result of the play is a touchdown. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, offense number 78, taunting. That 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the kickoff.
It's the Auburn commit, Rance Brown, the right tackle with that penalty.
Take a look at this route, stems it outside. It's an out and up, and you see the defender just kind of peeks in the backfield for a second as Gia, number 4, is the cornerback in coverage there, and man, when you stare in the backfield, you watch quarterbacks complete passes just like that. And in a heartbeat, that long drive that took up about 7-8 minutes for Baylor, all for naught. How about that? 10 seconds. We got a ball game. There's Cruz Jenkins, fired up. All right, we're back in this thing. Boy, they needed that touchdown desperately.
Especially with Baylor getting the football to start the third quarter.
Yeah, problem is, you know, you've got 49 seconds left here in this first half, and you got a quarterback, you know, for Baylor and Keegan Croucher who can certainly sling it, and they've got players across the board. So I would not just be I would hold my breath. How about that? If I'm Paul Wade, you see there on the screen the head coach of Brentwood, because your defense was just on the field for about 8 minutes. And they're going to have pretty good field position as they're going to kick off from the 25. You had that taunting penalty there at the end there on Rance Brown. So that could prove to be costly. And remember, Baylor has a good field goal kicker. If they get it within 50-ish yards, they'll take the opportunity and bring out the kicker, Sam Shutters.
Shown off his leg once tonight. This is going to be an opportunity for David Gabriel Georges and Antoine Cornbread Adams, deep to return for the Baylor School. The Red Raiders trying to strike back in just 49 seconds, no timeouts to work with.
Timeout, Brentwood Academy. Third and final timeout of the first half.
We showed you a couple times the massive crowd, not just at this home venue at Haywood Stadium, but the folks who made the trip down from Brentwood, Tennessee, a suburb of Nashville on the south side of the city. But they traveled in numbers to support this program. This is just the beginning of our high school kickoff here between two of the best in the state of Tennessee. Battleground Academy and St. Michael Catholic will face off on Saturday at 1:30 Eastern on ESPN2. That's a double header. Gainesville and Buford, the reigning national champs, the team that actually the Baylor School went and played at Buford. They have that unbelievable brand new stadium down there in Georgia. This is all coming your way over the next 10 days on our ESPN networks. David Gabriel Georges has come off the field. He will not be deep to return anymore. Beckham Stokes, one of the other wide receivers, along with Adams, is deep to return. Gabriel Georges actually has snuck forward. He is in this second line at about the 45-yard line.
It's smart by Coach Kimry, because you know if they do a squib kick here, you definitely do not want to see number 0 pick up the football and take off and go, because he will. We saw him pick up a fumbled snap and rush for 10 yards. Can you imagine if you just accidentally squib it to him here and he gets a nice little bunny hop and just takes off at full speed? Good luck.
There he is, 0, walking toward the far sideline. Got to think there's a lot of fingers that were pointing at him when he walked forward to get on that second line.
Yeah, and by the way, if I'm that other up back right there, if I fielded the football, I would just toss it to number 0.
It's a line drive kick to Adams. That's going to get into the end zone for a touchback. Owen Davies, job done.
Well, Paul Wade told us on our call Wednesday that the goal is this season for every kick to be a touchback out of the back of the end zone. Well, that was from the 25-yard line. How about that? Well, job well done.
Well, no timeouts. What are you looking for here offensively? How aggressive are you?
Great question. I would say the first play, I would run some sort of a screen, something where you can get the ball in the hands of DGG. They're not going to do that. They're going to take a knee. So all that conversation for nothing. Just fine.
We're just practicing. We're just getting going.
Hey, man, it's a preseason game for us. You know, college football around the corner, although this feels like a college game to me. Goodness.
They will have to snap this twice before we go to the break. And this state championship rematch so far living up to it. We've had our fair share of flags, but as far as the drama that could ensue in the second half, it is feeling much the same as what we expected from last year's meeting at the end of the year.
I think this is going to be a heck of a second half, Chucky. I really do. I thought coming into the game, you know, after watching that state title game a season ago, 4-point ball game, could have gone either way. It was a roller coaster for both teams. I think at the end of this weekend, you may look back and say this was the best matchup. I could be a little biased, though.
7-point halftime lead for the Baylor school. Hosting Brentwood Academy to kick off the football season here on ESPN. Keegan Croucher's debut wearing this jersey. One season here, and then it's off to Ole Miss, where he is committed as a top 25 quarterback in the class of 2027. A great response from a guy who's going to be playing with him next year. On the other side, Cruz Jenkins, the quarterback for Brentwood Academy. As everybody heads to the locker room to talk things over after their first 24 minutes of football in the 2026 season. Between two teams that are going to win a lot of football games over the course of the year. Sydney is on the field with head coach Eric Kimry.
Coach Kimry, first half, Keegan Croucher has worn a Baylor uniform. How did he look to you?
He did great. He, composed himself. He extended some plays. Had some first time, jitters going out there, but I thought he played really well.
Brentwood Academy has got a tough offense. What's it going to take from your defense to lock down this win?
Well, they've played great all half. We just gave up a stupid play at the end of the half. It's frustrating, but they're a good team. They're going to come back. It's going to be a heck of a high school football game.
Thank you for your time, Coach.
Yeah, thank you.
State championship last year was back and forth. It was not until the 3:31 mark that Baylor threw the last punch to secure the victory. We'll see what the second half has in store. They lead Brentwood Academy 17-10 at the break.
Marshall Manning on the pass. Marshall Manning on the pass. Marshall Manning on the pass.
some fireworks? I didn't expect this.
Just over a week away to kick off TCU North Carolina on the 29th in Dublin. We are in Chattanooga, Tennessee. The Baylor School leading Brentwood Academy in a rematch of last year's state championship, 17-10, here at halftime alongside Dustin Fox and Sydney Supley. I'm Chucky Kemp. We have some tremendous athletes on display in this game, but also all of kickoff weekend. These are where some of the athletes are going that you will be watching over the next 10 days on our ESPN networks. And what I love about this is East Coast to West Coast, all the conferences, we have those athletes.
And we're still dinging across the country. Ding. More dings. Pretty much everyone is represented this weekend here in this high school showcase. Cannot wait for the rest of these ball games this weekend as we have a just unbelievable slate of games. Take a look at Buford, by the way, scrimmaged against Baylor about a week ago or so, and we talked about that a little bit. #1 team in the entire country. And you got a big one coming up here on Saturday, St. Michael Catholic out of Alabama. And there are some stars, and they will be shining.
More than just a couple stars. These are some of the guys that you will see, 5 4-star recruits, and all of them in the top 100 of the SC Next 300.
Very excited to see Noah Roberts, Quentin Burrell, who will be playing in the Big Ten against my beloved Buckeyes. So we'll keep an eye on that young man.
These are playoff mainstays, too, when you look at these programs. Miami, Michigan, Notre Dame, Texas, Oregon.
No doubt.
And we've got one of the biggest ones of all. His head coach, Eric Kimry, said he's the best player in the country. David Gabriel, Georgia's headed to Tennessee next year.
And you can argue that he is the #1 player in the country. I mean, depends on who you ask. Obviously, running backs maybe not get the quite the hype and love as some quarterbacks may get, but DGG is a G, running the rock like an OG out there. And I just love the way he has balance, the physicality. He does not shy away from contact. In fact, he looks to deliver the contact. And tonight has just had himself a really nice first half. And Chucky, we got a ball game here. Going to be a fun second half.
We do. Eric Kimry said he's a generational talent, said he's already a pro. Brentwood Academy, they've got some of their own, though. Hit back late in the first half, 17-10 at the break. Welcome back to the ESPN High School Kickoff. Here at the Baylor School in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Beautiful Thursday night for some Tennessee high school football. Two of the best programs in the state and in the country. Just a 7-point game as we get set for the second half of action. Alongside Dustin Fox and Sydney Supley, I'm Chucky Kemp. Well, we talked about it. Feels like a college football game, but what has stood out most to you so far?
Well, I mean, listen, this was the probably the most impressive high school football game I've ever announced or even seen in person. I mean, there's so many players that just look like they belong in the Big Ten, the SEC, you name it, Power 4, across the board. But to me, number one, DGG, David Gabriel Georges, is legit. I mean, as advertised, we talked with his coach yesterday. He gave us every superlative in the book. And so far, in the first half, I've seen it all. Absolutely everything this young man has done has been off the charts. As you take a look at the 3 players in this game that are all committed to go play for the Tennessee Volunteers next season. Keyshawn Bowman, just 2 catches in the first half. Kennedy Simon, who did go down with a little bit, I think, cramp there late, but has made some plays. And we just mentioned DGG, who has 87 total yards in the first half, averaging 5.3 yards per carry. Pretty impressive.
19 total commits, 1 5-star. It is DGG, David Gabriel Georges, the number 2 running back in the class, 13th overall. Keyshawn Bowman, Malik Howard, and then Kenny Simon. We have 3 of the top 4 in that group. 6 4-stars, 9 3-stars for Tennessee. But some of those guys will be playing some meaningful downs next year. Certainly the running back, David Gabriel Georges, will likely be doing the most of that. Dude is an absolute animal.
Just look at that guy. You know, if God went in a lab and just said, I'm going to make a running back, he would look like that. Man, impressive.
Let's take a look at some of the top recruiting classes across the country. Texas A&M, Notre Dame right up at the top of that list. Oregon in 3rd, Texas, and then Miami, the runners-up last year, in 5th. But of course, all these programs, it's who you would expect for the most part.
It is the who's who of college football, the blue bloods, if you will, and it just shows. I mean, if you want to compete at the highest level and you want to be in the college football playoff, you need to have guys that are in the ESPN 300, no doubt about it.
17 each for Texas A&M and Notre Dame. The majority of their commits come from the SC Next 300.
See the Buckeyes get a couple more. I'm kidding. Just teasing. We're doing just fine.
I had a feeling your eyes would go straight to the number 7 spot there.
Just always looking for the scarlet and gray and how we're doing.
There's 11 through 20.
Hey, at least we're ahead of number 11. Oh, come on. I'm just teasing. It's all in good fun. It's all in good fun. But yeah, just so many talented players across the board.
LSU Ole Miss right next to each other there, 16 and 17. We're just about ready for the second half here in Chattanooga. Couldn't have asked for a better night. It was a little bit hot when we started this, upper 80s, a little bit humid. About 85 at the end of the first quarter. It has dipped down now to 80 degrees. Let's go down to Sydney, who is with Paul Wade.
Coach Wade, a huge connection from your offense coming into halftime. How much momentum did that create?
Well, we'll find out real quick right here whether we get a stop or not. If we do, it'll be a big one. If not, it didn't really matter.
You told me your motto is win. What's important now? What was the message about what's important in halftime?
Getting a stop, tackling that guy, getting him to the ground, and getting the ball back.
How do you get Larry more involved in this game at the running back position?
That's a great question. We really got to do a better job up front blocking. At times he had spots to get through there. They closed really quick. We're just going to see if we can get something going this half.
Thank you for your time, Coach.
Thanks.
I like Coach Paul Wade. We had a great opportunity to chat with him for about an hour on Wednesday, and was very gracious with his time and certainly has a resume that precedes itself. I mean, this guy's been coaching for 35 years as the offensive coordinator, does all the play calling and all that good stuff on the sidelines. But I think everything you said is absolutely spot on. You got to get a stop, and you got to get the ground game going as they did in that state title game last year. Larry Sanders had 215 yards in that game, averaged almost 8 yards per carry, had 3 touchdowns. Does not have a touchdown in this game, and I know he's not near 8 yards a carry.
Brentwood Academy won just 2 games the year before Paul Wade took over. They won 9 his first year in charge. They won 11 last year, with their lone loss coming to the Baylor school in the state championship game. He's a 4-time state champion winning head coach, 7 more as an assistant coach. Previously at Donaldson Christian Academy in Nashville for 6 years. Took them to a state title in 2021 after they were winless in his first season. He's just a program builder. His team will be on defense to start this half against Eric Kimry and the Baylor school. The Red Raiders trying to make it a 2-score game to start off the second half. Owen Davies tees it up, ready to send it deep to Antoine Adams and David Gabriel Georges. And they will continue to be bored on kickoff return as that is into the end zone for a touchback.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be many returns on Brentwood this season. Goodness, that was 15 yards. That was almost out of the back of off the track.
Davies headed to Notre Dame in the class of 2028.
Can see why.
Keegan Croucher back out for the second half. 5 for 11 tonight, 80 yards and a touchdown. I think the most impressive thing has been the legs, because that's not what he's known for.
He's not known for the legs, but I think Coach pointed out yesterday when he was chatting with us is that once he gets going, he's a long strider and he can fly. It just takes him maybe 2-3 strides, and then he gets rolling down the train tracks, if you will, here in Chattanooga.
Said he's not really a twitchy guy, but he has great speed. Going short this time, that is just off the hands of his intended target, the tight end, Braxton Rain.
Very uncharacteristic drop there by Braxton Rain, their sure-handed tight end, who's the playmaker. He kind of triple catches it. It's in his paws. Just drops it.
4-star recruit in the class of 2028, 7th-ranked tight end. That's a long list of Power 4 offers. Eric Kimry said he'll be one of the top tight ends in the country one of these days. 2nd and 10. Look at the outside, caught by Adams, who is hit hard and dropped at about the 27-yard line. Troy Ortiz makes the stop, the senior 3-star committed to Wofford.
All right. First 2 snaps of the second half. DGG not a carry, not a reception, not a target. So 3rd and 4. I'm going to put some cash on who's going to touch the football here.
Pretty much 3rd and 15 and in. Feels like a running down for them.
I mean, this guy is so good.
3rd and 4 from the 26-yard line. They will throw the football, looking the other direction. Has good time. Throwing, caught by Rain, who tiptoes along the sideline and is knocked out at the 45.
Well, he had DGG on the little angle route over the middle, but he wasn't looking his direction. And right there, you can see Zero coming across, and then he just, again, we're talking about Croucher. The quarterback rolls back to his right and then just finds Braxton Rain, who then totally redeems himself for that drop on 1st down.
6'6", 235-pound junior tight end.
Good-looking tight end.
1st and 10 at their own 45-yard line. Beckham Stokes in motion. Handoff. Gabriel Georges up the middle with a flag in the backfield. The first flag in the second half. It was a pickup of 7 yards on 1st down.
Well, we made it a minute.
We did not do that in the first half, I will say. The first quarter, we had a handful of flags in the first minute.
Holding, offense number 77. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot, replay, 1st down.
It's the left tackle, Dante Wade, who stands at 6'7", 315 pounds. First and 20. It's one of those spots Brentwood Academy has to come up with a stop now. 1st and 20.
Got him backed up behind the sticks. Problem is you can just hand the football off to Zero right here, and he goes for 12 yards.
Play action pass. Pressure coming.
Is that a fumble?
He was hit as he threw, and they will say incomplete pass. Croucher took a shot from A.J. Bass-Mays, or excuse me, Jansen Allen.
I think that arm was going forward.
Pass. The quarterback was contacted as he threw the ball. Second down.
So we'll be 2nd and 20 after the hit by Jansen Allen. Handoff, Gabriel Georges, they collide with him. 3 white jerseys and knock his helmet off.
He'll have to come out for a play.
There's a player down on the field. I think it's Dylan Taylor, the defensive tackle, who stayed down after that hit.
I think this hit was delivered by David Gabriel Georges. Take a look. We're looking at, yeah, we're looking right there, 73. Man, he took a shot.
Almost looked like he made contact with his teammate, Kenneth Simon II. We will step away while they take a look at Dylan Taylor. Little League Classic action is here. Watch a couple first place teams. The Braves and the Brewers face off in Williamsport Sunday 7 Eastern on ESPN and streaming on the ESPN app. Unfortunately, some weather in Williamsport tonight. We've got a beautiful setup here in Chattanooga, and the good news is Dylan Taylor walked off under his own power in the commercial break. Got a 7-point game. This is a 3rd and 16 situation for the Baylor school. JPE2 is in the backfield right now.
Well, if they can't get off the field here, this would be a heartbreaking scenario for Brentwood. They need to stop desperately.
Stokes in motion. No DGG on the field right now. Lost his helmet on the last play. Croucher, pocket collapsing. Flag on the field, and it is picked off downfield. Roman Jennings headed the other way with the blocker, and he's dropped at the 35-yard line. It's going to be a hold on the offensive line. This play is going to stand.
This is a desperation heave by Keegan Croucher, and you just can't do that. I know in some situations you're thinking it's as good as a punt, but not here when Roman Jennings has all day to catch that football and then return it back into Baylor territory.
An interception by Brentwood Academy. Holding offense number 67. That penalty's declined. After the play, second sideline warning, Brentwood Academy. That 5-yard penalty will be enforced from the end of the run. First down.
Roman Jennings with the pick and the big return. He is headed to Liberty as an inside linebacker, a 3-star recruit, a guy that their head coach, Paul Wade, said plays with a big chip on his shoulder too.
He is an old school throwback type of linebacker that just does the dirty work. You want to have him on your roster, and Jamie Chadwell's got a good one coming to Liberty right there. Guy's a wrestler. I mean, just a physical dude.
Game-changing opportunity for Cruz Jenkins and this offense. Larry Sanders in the backfield with him. He gets the football. Bounces around one tackler and picks up 4 yards on first down.
Larry Sanders.
They trailed by 11 with under 10 minutes to play in the state championship game last year. Ended up taking the lead in that same quarter. This is a Brentwood Academy team with 0 quit in them.
Well, and remember, this Brentwood team is the more experienced roster, more experienced starters. The quarterback played in that game. The running back played. I mean, all the guys that had an impact on that state title game are back.
Sanders following his fullback. Knocked down after about 3 yards. Let's go down to Sydney on the sideline.
It's Chucky, for Larry Sanders, what he does on the football field isn't the hardest part of his day. He told me it's actually the easiest. The hardest part is his daily commute to school and commitment to Brentwood Academy. He lives so far away that his daily routine, he's waking up at 4:30 in the morning. He's leaving his house by 5 a.m. where he packs all 3 meals to eat at Brentwood Academy, and then he's not getting home till after school and football to around 10 p.m. Says lay his head on his pillow and repeat it the next day. But for him, it's all worth it to be able to wear this uniform.
Makes another tremendous run on that play, and it's a first down near the 25.
Well, he brought his lunch pail on that run. All 3 meals, needed it all right there to pick up that first down on a very, very big third and about 3 or 4.
5'8", $186. He runs, though, like a big running back.
Yeah, he does. In the low center of gravity, certainly helps him, kind of hides behind the big offensive line, and then he wears you out.
Gets the ball again, jumps around one, trying to get outside, makes a move inside the 10-yard line and tripped up near the 7.
Larry Sanders on the carry.
Showing the boost.
And how about that move in the backfield? And then there's where like the height helps him, right? He's kind of hiding behind those offensive linemen. So if you're Baylor, you're like, where is he at? He's like a jitterbug back there. And then just kind of squirts out the back end, nearly scores a touchdown. But nonetheless, they've got a 1st and goal opportunity here inside the 10.
Just over 6 yards per carry. It's been all runs on this drive. And remember, it was set up by the interception from Roman Jennings. 1st and goal. Guess who? Sanders trying to get outside. This time they wrap him up for a short gain. He's just inside the 5-yard line.
How about that stiff arm here by Larry Sanders? Right there on the defender in the back end there. That's Bowman.
Bowman's going to come off the field, as well as Jordan Derangia.
There's only one decision here. I think it's just keep riding your horse, and that's number 2. They got like a little triple I formation here. Big fullback in there.
Sanders gets it behind the big fullback, pushing his way toward the goal line. The ball came out. They'll say he was on the ground at the 1-yard line.
As you can hear there, the officials are telling the players exactly what happened, and it just kind of alerted us to what happened there. He was down before the ball came out, and they're not going to be able to review that. Gotta love the old school fullback, though. Paul Wade loves having a true fullback in the backfield.
We've got the extra offensive lineman in the backfield to help block, but movement first. And it was actually Dylan Taylor, which is good to see him on the field because he left earlier with that injury. And now he's playing fullback.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense, everybody but the center. 5-yard penalty still, 3rd down.
Well, the center's the most important one. As you see Xavier Yelder, 65, that's the center.
3-star kid has not committed yet, has offers from App State, Liberty, Oklahoma State, among others. Same set. Taylor in the backfield. Liam Titus, the big fullback at 265 pounds. Those two in front of Larry Sanders, the second. 3rd and goal. Sanders gobbled up in the backfield. Faulkner got to him first.
I don't want to, I mean, this is unbelievable. Just watch Faulkner right here in the middle of your screen. It's like he knows the snap count. Like he's there in a heartbeat, and just the second that Larry Sanders takes the handoff from Cruz Jennings, he sees number 9 in his face. That is just a great stop by the Baylor defense there. They had it basically inside the 1-yard line, and now they're going to be forced to settle for a field goal attempt.
Notre Dame commit. Owen Davies connects on the field goal. Overall, a good start to the second half for Brentwood Academy, who cut this lead to 4. Let's take a look at our Ace Hardware's helpful player. How about Larry Sanders II on that last drive? He was awesome.
He really was, and he's given, I think, some hope and some life to this Brentwood offense. I mean, I know they had to settle for 3, but there's a lot of positives to take away from that drive. Number one, they moved the ball. They got in the red zone. You know, they did a lot of really good things, but you got to give Baylor credit because they did bow up at the end of the day, forced them to kick 3. But hey, partner, we got a ball game. It's a 4-point game.
Not often you get a rematch of last year's state championship in the opener of your high school football season. These two were actually supposed to play last year in week 3, but lightning in the area in Nashville. They were going to play that game at Brentwood Academy. Lightning just kept delaying and delaying, so they had to call
3-hour
off.
delay. They said, so obviously they had a conversation. They said they would love to play week 1. They wanted to play at night, which makes a lot of sense, and not on the weekend. And here we are, Thursday night football. And we got a packed house with a 4-point ball game, and we got I mean, a great atmosphere, great night for some high school football here with some awesome players on the field. And partner, it's fun to be with you. Our first game as a partnership to kick off our season. Been a lot of fun so far.
Yeah, we are having a blast alongside Dustin Fox. I'm Chucky Kemp. Sydney Supley, the third member of our team, has been tremendous tonight. Owen Davies set to boot this away, trying to stay perfect on touchbacks this season. Gabriel George is deep to return just in case, and this is out of the end zone for a touchback. So here comes this Baylor offense trying to bounce back after the interception by Roman Jennings their last time out. Keegan Croucher's first bit of adversity as the starting quarterback for this team.
Got to take care of the football. First and foremost, that is the #1 job of a quarterback, and that's what Briggs Cherry did a season ago. He really did it for 3 seasons here as the quarterback of the Red Raiders. But I've seen so many good things from Keegan Croucher in his debut for Baylor. Just one little mistake. You got to take care of the ball. Probably wishes he would have thrown that out of bounds and then lived to just kind of punt the ball on 4th down.
Gabriel George is in the backfield. He will get the football on 1st down. Ducks ahead past the 25. Let's check in with Sydney down on the sideline.
Well, when the defense was out there, I listened to Coach Kimmery. He had a conversation with Keegan, his quarterback, where he said, let that last throw go, but you got to trust me and not force anything on these plays. And I talked to Keegan during the week, and he said sometimes Coach Kimmery doesn't even bring out a play sheet, but he just makes up plays in the air and out of his mind because he wants Keegan to be versatile and being able to just trust in his play calls, and that's what he's looking for in this drive.
2nd and 4 here for Croucher. Again on the ground, this time E2, who's trying to bounce it outside, dragged down from behind. That will be a 1st down.
You know, it's kind of funny, E2, who's had several carries tonight, when he gets the rock, he's got a burst too. And sometimes I'm like, wait a second, is that DGG or no? Because he's worth 25. He's a player. I mean, this guy's an absolute ball player too, 6'3", 210 pounds, and you can see the burst he has as he picks up that 1st down. It's nice to have another solid running back as a not even a replacement, as a 1B to David Gabriel George's.
Flag on the field prior to a snap.
Prior to snap, false start, offense number 18. 5-yard penalty still, 1st down.
It's the tight end Braxton Rain called for the false start. It's tough to give this Brentwood Academy defense extra opportunities. They are just so solid.
DGG is down here, by the way, out wide.
Pressure coming off the edge, looking that way. Croucher discards one blitzer, throwing back to DGG. What a throw across his body, and they get good yardage there on 1st and 15.
Clearly designed to go his way. He's looking that way the entire time. Here we isolate him on the outside, just trying to run a little stick route, and then as it becomes a scramble drill, knows exactly where to go. And I'm sure they practiced that 100 times thus far in training camp. Get outside the pocket. He's got to go there, sits down, and nearly picks up the 1st down. 13-yard reception there on 1st and 15.
This looks like he's playing at his own pace right now.
No question. Different level.
Handoff up the middle. They get to him this time, trying to drag defenders close to a 1st down. We'll see where they mark this. This is right at the sticks. They will say 1st down. Eric Kimmery said he's football obsessed. Said he's going to be a 1st-round pick one day. Said he eats perfectly.
No sugar in his diet. When I heard that, I'm thinking to myself, how is that possible? As a grown man, I eat Sour Patch Kids and gummy bears, like lots and lots and lots of that. And I'm thinking, this young man is not even 18, right? And he doesn't eat sugar? Talk about discipline.
Play action. Croucher's got all day long. Now the pocket collapses, and he's going to go down. He had time, but just didn't see anybody he liked. Jamison Humphreys, one of them that got there.
Great pressure, really across the board. Just a push. You know, you got to give a lot of credit to Brentwood because the coverage downfield forces the sack. I mean, the offensive line can only protect for so long, and they did a halfway decent job. But just the coverage, that's a coverage sack, 100%.
2nd and 15. Gabriel Georges on the handoff, stiff arms one, cuts upfield, and is spun down from behind at the 49. And yet again, he gets 13 yards in a tough situation to make it 3rd and short.
I mean, you think that you can tackle him by going low and not wrapping up, right? How many guys? 1, 2, 3 arm tackles. Yeah, arm tackles don't tackle Gabriel Georges.
Wow, stuck his foot in the ground there, cuts upfield.
Oh my gosh, are you kidding me?
Helmet came off.
Kidding me?
To the 40.
Come on. Unfortunately, we have a flag on the play, but that I don't care. We're going to watch that play a couple times. Holy cow.
Illegal substitution. Defense. That penalties declined. Result of the play.
Can we start with just the cut right here? How about this? Just sticks that foot in the ground. And then the spin. And then the hand down. And then the balance. And then another spin. Might want to get another chin strap, though. It's the 2nd time his helmet's popped off. But my gosh. This is video game stuff.
Hey, he's getting one. Tighten things up over there. 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line. They've gone from 1st and 15 and 2nd and 15 to pick up 2 consecutive first downs. A2 has nowhere to go, bottled up by Roman Jennings and friends at the line of scrimmage.
I really hope that run makes SportsCenter. I know it was like a 12-yard run, but it was remarkable. I mean, there's not enough buttons on your PlayStation to do all the moves he did on that previous run.
Just spamming spin.
Yeah, but then he hits triangle and X and then like R1 and then L2. If there is an L2 anymore, I don't know. I'm an Xbox guy.
Yeah, you're going back and forth now between the systems, but I respect it. Gabriel Georges again up the middle, this time untouched until the secondary. And the DB's not going to be thanking anybody in the front 7 for that.
Guess what? Helmet comes off again. We need to call Rydell. Get this young man a helmet.
She's telling him to stay in this time because it was a face mask on the play.
Is that what caused it to pop off there, Chucky?
Here comes the official word.
Personal foul.
Ramsey.
Face mask. Defense number 1. Half the distance to the goal. First down. Number 0 may stay in the game.
All right.
I said number 1, Keyshawn Bowman. That's actually going to be number 7, Hill Strong, a 3-star committed to actually right here in Chattanooga to play in the Southern Conference.
They're going to take this to the quarter break, or are they going to try to run another snap?
Well, the in-stadium lights guy thought that we were going to the quarter break, I think, or that there was a touchdown. Well, a little light flicker.
And there was an issue with, I think, the play clock, or the play clock.
Week 1 for everybody, okay?
Not us, partner. We're locked in. I'm kidding.
1st and 10. Gabriel Georges gets the ball going left side this time. Wrapping him up. There's a flag behind the play back at the 15-yard line with 2 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Looks like this one's coming back.
Holding. Offense number 77. 10-yard penalty replay. First down.
How many times have we seen them behind the sticks in this drive?
At least 2 that I can recall. And
this is the toughest spot of them all, too. 1st and 20.
It's almost 1st and goal. But I'll tell you what, that was a grown man drive by DGG. Breaking ankles, breaking tackles. You can't tackle him. You got to rip his helmet off. Come on. We got a tight ball game here.
"12 minutes to play under the lights between Brentwood Academy and the Baylor School." 4-point game. How about some all-time greats at the running back category for Tennessee? David Gabriel Georges might be on this list in a few years.
Yeah, I think there's a really good chance that could be the case. Jamal Lewis played against him when he was with the Cleveland Browns. Travis Henry, I just missed him when he was at the Bills. Aaron Foster did not play against him. Dylan Sampson, Cleveland Brown. How about that?
Jamal Lewis one falls into the category of you don't want to get in his way.
No, just get out of the way.
Croucher on the low snap, sets, fires, and hits his man, Beckham Stokes, across the middle. Croucher had to pick that up off the turf. There's an injured Eagle in the backfield. Looks like Jamison Humphreys, the junior linebacker.
Yeah, there's the old stretch out the calf and hammy because we got cramps. Been there. It's always the early August, September games when it's this hot. It is so tough, especially in the second halves. All right.
Well, we'll get you stretched out in the break, and we'll be right back.
Here we go.
Good to see linebacker Jamison Humphreys walk off under his own power. Down on the field, we've got Sydney, who is trying to avoid the cramping right now on the hot sideline.
Hey, I found the trick on Baylor's sideline. They are squirting pickle juice into everybody's mouth, and they're not telling the players. They're just filling it in the water bottles and saying, here, open your mouth. And then as soon as the players are getting a little bit of a sip, you can tell in their face right away they know, but they are not cramping on their sideline. They're bound and determined to stay in this game.
Surprise.
That would be a surprise.
DGG on the carry, breaks a couple tackles. Touchdown #1 of his senior season for the Red Raiders.
While pickle juice in a water bottle might surprise some, DGG getting the football surprises no one after that last drive. My goodness. Right down the field. I mean, that was an all DGG drive. 11 plays, 80 yards, took up exactly half the quarter in 6 minutes. And this is one of the rare plays where it really doesn't require that much. I mean, it's a good read, good blocking inside. He only breaks one tackle. Shockingly. One tackle, because typically he breaks, 3 or 4. There he goes. How many do you think he's going to have this year? Touchdowns?
27 last year.
You taking over that or under?
I think if you gave it to him 25 times a game, he's going to score 5 a game.
Honestly, I'm sort of surprised that he doesn't have more than just that one touchdown. Obviously, Faulkner had the other touchdown earlier in the half.
He had over 400 yards, 7 touchdowns against one of their rivals last year. So you know how quickly that number can fly up if they need him to and if he wants to do it. This is another thing Eric Kimmery talked about. This is kind of the whole group, but he said he is just always football. When he's on the sideline, he's constantly analyzing the game and what's happened so far.
He's watching game film on the sidelines. What a different world we live in. I mean, technology, to have that ability to be able to go and just, check out the hole and, see what you did right and wrong instantly and have that feedback. So cool.
Touchback as Brentwood Academy gets set to take over. College football goes international for week 0, Saturday, August 29th. It's a triple header. Starts with North Carolina TCU. The rematch is in Dublin at noon Eastern. Then it's NC State, Virginia, followed by Alabama A&M and Howard in Atlanta for the MEAC SWAC Challenge. That kickoff is coming your way at 7:30 Eastern on ABC. All those games also available on the ESPN app. We will be tuned in.
Get the sense that TCU North Carolina game will be a little different than last year.
There will certainly be a lot of eyes to see if it's different than last year.
I love that overseas game and an early kick to the season. Love it.
1st and 10 at the 20-yard line for Cruz Jenkins. They're going to have to throw the football. Wide open man! It's caught! It's Keyshawn Bowman to the house! No flags on the field this time.
How in the world? Oh, there you go. I mean, I was going to say, do you bust this coverage? But it was just kind of a double move, and you got on the back end, your corner, Darren Gia, number 4, is just staring in the backfield. He breaks up, and then next thing you know, Bowman is 10 yards past him, wide open. And man, I was just going to say, like, this game could get away from Brentwood, and now that's twice that Baylor has scored and Brentwood has responded within a minute. How about this? We got a tight game, 24-20 from Chattanooga.
The ESPN High School Kickoff is brought to you by Ace, the helpful place. The future Volunteers getting on the board. Keyshawn Bowman, the latest top 10 receiver in this class, headed to Tennessee. 80 yards to the house.
Good day to be a Volunteer fan or a Volunteer commit. Stars are shining bright.
You said it. We got a lot of Tennessee fans that look like they're here to see those guys.
Absolutely,
Simon,
yeah.
Gabriel Georges and Bowman.
Yep.
Had some big plays. 67-yard touchdown to Baskin for Brentwood Academy. And then Bowman for 80 yards. And Cruz Jenkins, he's made some big throws. I mean, that one was a little easier than the first one, but he's threaded the ball into a couple spots. It's been really impressive. Davies short kick this time, and that is going to go out of bounds.
Oh, man. After all that hype and love we've been giving him for kicking all of these out of the back of the end zone, that one is going to be a great starting field position for Baylor.
Rare miscue for the future Notre Dame kicker Owen Davies, committed in the class of 2028. It's going to be great starting field position for the Red Raiders. Eric Kimmery's done an excellent job. Now in his 5th year, 2-time state champions here at Baylor in 2022 and 2025. They were runners-up the other 2 years.
There are 2 fouls on the play, both by the kicking team. Free kick out of bounds, kicking team. The ball in place at 35-yard line. Offsides, kicking team number 35. That 5-yard penalty will be enforced from the succeeding spot. First down.
Yeah, so they're going to get the ball at the 40. My goodness.
David Gabriel Georges is going to come out wide. You see 0 jogging to the bottom of your screen. Jean-Pierre Itou in the backfield next to Keegan Croucher. The tight end Braxton Rain in motion. They'll throw it to Gabriel Georges, trying to get him up against these defensive backs. Hit low, stays on his feet, loses the helmet. Here goes Gabriel Georges, finally tackled inside the 25. A flag late in the play. The helmet coming off, can't even stop him now.
Again, I think you got another face mask here at the end, which is why the helmet comes off. You just get him in space, and he's wearing them out. Look at it. You cannot tackle Gabriel Georges with a chicken wing. You can't do it. You've got to come wrap up on this young man and try and get him on the ground. It is taking how many guys? They are ripping his helmet off. That's how difficult it is to get him on the ground. They cannot grab cloth. They cannot wrap him up.
Off. That made the runner dead. Personal foul, face mask, defense. Half the distance from the end of the run. First down.
The face mask is against his future teammate, Kenneth Simon II. His defensive backs are not loving life when they see 0 lined up in front of them.
Well, I wouldn't love life either if I had to tackle that guy at full speed in open field.
1st and 10 just inside the 15. Play action pass for Croucher. Great coverage downfield. He's directing traffic and threads it in to Antoine Cornbread Adams down to the 3-yard line to set up 1st and goal.
Antoine Adams on the reception.
I think we're certainly starting to see a little bit of fatigue come into play, especially for the defenders of Brentwood. I think that last drive that Baylor went all the way down the field and it took 6 minutes off the clock, 11 plays, and almost all of those plays were touches by DGG. And you saw, I mean, that just little screen pass to him on the outside, that now pattern, it just shows the wear and tear that he's created on this defense.
Here he is again, and he's in for the score. 2nd touchdown of the game for Gabriel Georges, both of them coming in the 2nd half.
And you can see as everyone else tires, he's getting stronger. And it's almost like he's feeding off of it. Even right there, I mean, as he's being tackled, he's like an acrobat into the end zone. Always going forward, always positive yards, always fighting for the extra yardage. Just can't say enough good stuff about this kid. Blown away by DGG. Second touchdown of the night, carrying the Red Raiders right now in the second half, 31-20.
The Baylor school leading. How did we get here? Started off Antoine Cornbread Adams back in the first quarter to open the scoring in 2026. Then the linebacker, Corey Faulkner, takes the carry, has to bounce it all the way to the pylon. Some big throws, though, from Cruz Jenkins in this game. The first one to Lex Baskin, that going for almost 70 yards. David Gabriel Georges, this is his first touchdown here in the second half. Just tacked on another one moments ago. They responded, though, right away. Keyshawn Bowman, one of his first big moments in 2026. So the Tennessee commits have showed up tonight, but still work to do for Brentwood Academy, down 11 in this game.
This may sound a little crazy, Chucky, when I say this, but Brentwood needs to score, obviously, stating the obvious. But they need to eat up a little bit of clock because their defense is gassed, completely gassed. They've scored too quickly, and you're like, well, that's crazy. No, it's not, because DGG is now starting to feast on this defense, and you can see the defenders of Brentwood, they're just gassed. They're fatigued, they're cramping, they need a break. And so for Brentwood, they need two things to happen. They got to parlay a touchdown drive together with eating up a little bit of clock. You got to try to make it a 4-point game, and then you need to stop. That's the recipe here for them to get back in the ball game.
Part of that fatigue comes, they've got some of these really talented players playing both ways in this game. They go outside to Keyshawn Bowman. It's a good pickup on first down to move the chains and get this drive up and running.
Plenty of time remaining in this game. Something about that 4-point number. I mean, they've been down 4 multiple times in this game. They lost by 4 in the state title game a year ago.
I'd love to play spoiler this time. Cruz Jenkins, 8 of 13, 213 yards, a couple touchdowns in the game for Brentwood Academy. Handing off to Sanders this time, has a good gain, close to 7 yards to the 40.
Nothing wrong with that run by Larry Sanders, 7 yards. That's his season average from last year.
Under 10 minutes to play in the season opener, a rematch of last year's TSSAA state championship in this division.
I'm not saying they have to take, 6 minutes on the drive, but just, how about like a couple minutes to give your defense a little time to get a little pickle juice in their bellies?
Jenkins wrapped up and spun down by Cortez Carr Jr., a 3-star defensive end in the class of 2028.
Cortez Carr on the tackle.
Coach said he gave himself a nickname, Hawk. It's an acronym. Do you know what that stands for?
Let's hear it.
Oh, I was asking you because I sort of forget, but Coach was making kind of light of the fact that he's given himself a very cool nickname, unique nickname, if you will. But the Hawk makes a big time play right there.
They call him
Sorry
CJ.
to put you on the spot.
They call him CJ. I know that part. 3-star already with some good offers. These are guys that in these moments can kind of announce themselves a little bit too. That's a big play for him to start the drive. They dump this off to Bowman. Guess who? Carr is there, and you're not going to get out of those bits. Sydney, of course, has the answer to your question, by the way.
My hero.
Guys, they got to pay me to do something.
Yes.
But Hawk stands for humble athlete wanting knowledge. And that is something he wants to bring to the football field every time. Wants to be a sponge.
Dustin lobbed the alley-oop to me, and I got rim stuffed, and then Sydney had the follow, though.
Chucky got sprited, and Sydney just comes through. Well done. Thank you. You are the true professional on this broadcast.
That we can agree on.
100%.
4th and 16, thanks to a couple big plays by Cortez Carr Jr. This is a wobbly kick that lands
good bounce
about the
though.
45. And will roll out just inside the 39-yard line. 7:42 to play. Brentwood Academy needs a quick defensive stop, and David Gabriel George is walking back out onto that field. It is a tall order.
Well, 11-point lead, 7 and change to go. There's really one recipe here if you're Baylor. I mean, you want to chew clock, you want to get a couple first downs. Ideally, you'd like to go down and score a touchdown and take about 5 minutes off the clock. But the recipe involves number 0 in a lot of it.
Pistol formation, it's DGG in the backfield behind Keegan Croucher. Handoff, Gabriel Georges leaps through one defender, and he'll have 6 yards on first down.
David Gabriel George on the carry.
I think we both were sitting listening to Eric Kimry talk about David Gabriel Georges. We've done a lot of these coaches calls. You hear him talk about great players all the time. The way he talked about him was just different. I think we left there with chills after hearing all the superlatives and everything that he said about this kid.
And honestly, with what I've seen firsthand, everything he said is coming to fruition. And you know, when you get a chance to see something like that firsthand every single day, and you like day after day, and the dude just shows up and continues to work and grind, and he's the hardest worker, he's the first in, last. It's not like these superlatives don't. Some coaches just have hyperbole for these kids. Not with this guy. Like when he says generational talent, I truly believe after seeing this kid's up, the sky's the limit.
Said he's the best player he's ever coached. That includes when he was coaching at South Carolina, his alma mater. Says the hardest working player he's ever coached. No weaknesses. Said he's got it.
Without pause, he said he's going to be a first-round pick. I don't know that there's many coaches that would say that. In the way he said it, with the conviction that he did, it truly gave me chills because I believed him.
Eric Kimmer's been there. He played quarterback at South Carolina, so he knows high-level football. Here's Gabriel Georges right on cue, finishing that run by lowering his shoulder. There is a flag on the play. You see him giving a hug to his future teammate, Kenneth Simon II, who is going to be happy to be wearing the same jersey as that man.
There's no doubt. And yeah, there was a hold on the edge, but I don't even think it would have mattered.
Holding. Offense number 13. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Replay. First down.
DeGennaro, the wide receiver, called for the flag. Yeah, I think you've earned yourself a little bit of a rest there, DGG. Doesn't matter. They're going to bring in E2.
It doesn't get a lot easier. You get more high school football coming your way. 1:30 Eastern. That's a doubleheader on ESPN2. We'll have even more coming up next weekend, as well as the kickoff in week 0 of the college football season. TCU and North Carolina start things off on the 29th in Dublin. E2 bouncing it outside, and it's just what we were talking about. Finds a way to get 6 yards. Clock ticks down to 5 minutes and 30 seconds remaining in this game. I mentioned the recent significant success for the Baylor school, Brentwood Academy. No stranger to that. They won 4 consecutive state titles from 2015 to 2018, 14 total in program history, and they've actually kind of dominated this matchup over the years. It has just been as of late that the Baylor school has started to get on the board with consecutive victories over the last 4 or 5 years. Gabriel George is back out there, and guess what? The helmet comes off.
You got to take a look at this. Troy Porty's number 0 is a corner for Brentwood, and watch him go for a ride here. How about that? He's 5'9", 165. And again, the helmet comes off.
There's some freshmen that have obviously on the team, on the sideline, some that have seen the field a little bit for Brentwood Academy, that they're looking at David Gabriel George's. And you know what all the freshmen on the Baylor school are thinking. Thank God I'm on his team.
Prior to the snap, encroachment, defense number 27. That 5-yard penalty from the previous spot results in a first down.
So yesterday when we had a chance to meet Keegan Croucher in person, as I looked up at him, I said, Keegan, what's it like to play next to DGG in the backfield? And he's like, well, it's funny. Didn't really know because they hadn't had like anything live to see. Well, they had the scrimmage against Buford, where of course he takes the first play from scrimmage 54 yards for a touchdown run. And he goes, yeah, I now know what it's like to play with this guy. And he's, like you said, very happy that Superman's on his team as well.
It's interesting too, because a couple times tonight, he's been a safety valve, and you pointed it out on the play earlier when Croucher was scrambling. It was DGG who found space for him to throw to. Here he is again, backing his way down close to the 22-yard line, where they'll mark that, and it's another first down. Clock going to tick under 4 minutes here on this drive, and it's looking like the Baylor school is headed toward another win over Brentwood Academy.
Yeah, I think at this point it would take a minor miracle the way that DGG has been running now with 149 yards on the ground tonight.
Again on the carry. Tackled after a pickup of about 4 yards. Dylan Taylor, one of them in on the stop for Brentwood Academy. This is a team in Brentwood Academy. It's going to win a lot of football games. This is a good Eagles team.
Well, like you said, last year they were 11-1. Only loss, final game of the year, state title game to Baylor. They could go the entire year again with 1 loss. And I bet they would love to see them in the playoffs.
Second and 6 at the 18-yard line. As we wrap up the opener of the ESPN High School kickoff. Gabriel Georges one more time to the 10-yard line. and drops at the 7.
And that shows right there, like, unselfishness. He knows he could probably just walked into the end zone. He goes down in bounds, knows they can eat up some more clock, run a few more plays. They already have a 2-score lead, so like we're seeing football IQ from him right now as a high school senior. I'll tell you one thing, partner. I played tailback in high school. I'm way more selfish than him. I'd have been in the end zone.
Did it look like this when you were running it?
I mean, I don't sell myself short, but no, I did not look like DGG.
First and goal at the 7. Here he is again. This time he will walk in. He almost thought about going down.
He did.
I think you can take that one. 3 touchdowns on the night for the 5-star. Headed to Tennessee, number 2 running back in the class and number 13 on the SC Next 300.
And you can see right there, he's almost like disappointed that he did go in. What a night.
250 combined yards, 3 touchdowns. Extra point is up. It's good. It is 38-20. Red Raiders over the Eagles. And he's back to watching film. He was in the chair. That was he went straight to the chair to get back to watching film. Tremendous atmosphere. It's Haywood Stadium, named after the school's longest tenured head coach, James Haywood. This school was founded in 1893 in downtown Chattanooga. Began as a small school with just 31 boys. Moved to its current location that overlooks the Tennessee River in 1915. Became a co-ed day and boarding school in 1985. And they are a powerhouse in all the sports, too. This is not just a football school. We saw it when we walked in. Volleyball was playing. This is a school here in Chattanooga that has state and national champions, it feels like, across the board in all the sports. .208 left. Brentwood Academy, one more chance on offense. So we do have some lightning in the area. Not sure if it's close enough to stop anything yet. We're kind of waiting for official word. At the moment, obviously, it looks like we will continue playing. They will throw the football on first down, looking toward the sideline. It's a good throw and catch. Keyshawn Bowman, or excuse me, that's Lex Baskin on the grab from Cruz Jenkins. Thoughts on Cruz Jenkins tonight? 3-star headed Ole Miss.
I thought he has been as advertised. Showed quite a bit of moxie. I thought he delivered the football where it had to be. Every time that they've been down, it seemed like he's made a play. Well, with 1:53 and an 18-point game, we are going to have a bit of a delay here.
And as you can tell, we are a little bit limited. Our camera operators, we have already pulled them from their station. So the shots you're seeing are still shots and will not be moving, just for safety purposes for our crew, who has been excellent tonight, by the way. It's been a lot of fun working with everyone here in Chattanooga. So 1:53 left. We go to a lightning delay. It is an 18-point lead for the Baylor School. We'll step away and try and have an update for you on the other side. It has gone final due to lightning here in the Chattanooga area. 38-20, the Baylor school beats Brentwood Academy in the opener, a rematch of the state championship. Your final thoughts?
Well, listen, smart decision on both parties here to call this with about 1:50 to go, 18-point game. We've had a lot of issues with injuries all night. Anyway, smartly, let's let a little common sense prevail here, and let's call this one. It's going to be a final, 38-20. A lot more high school football to play this weekend. We've got a bunch of really good games coming up, with the next one being on Saturday right here on ESPN2 at 1:30, coming from St. Michael Catholic in Alabama. That's going to be a heck of a ball game. But, partner, I am blown away. Literally blown away with what I've seen from David Gabriel Georges tonight, and I'm a fan. I wish he was going to be wearing the scarlet and gray and not the orange and white, but nonetheless, what an awesome player. I think you'll be seeing this guy on Sundays.
DGG as advertised, helping the Baylor school to a season-opening win over a very good Brentwood Academy team. For Dustin Fox, Sydney Supley, and our entire crew, I'm Chucky Kemp. We'll see you next time.